We are live. Let's go. What's up, everybody? What up? RaiderNationLive in the building. Got my boys going to be showing up a little bit late. Gravy, Renegade 420, and my boy Josh is here, man. What's up, Josh?
What's up? Let's go.
We've been trying to do this for how fucking long now?
Like a week and a half. Shit keeps happening.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
One thing happens, one thing happens. Yeah, we just waiting for the guys to show up. Gabe's going to be showing up a couple minutes late. Like always, Gravy's doing his thing, so Gravy will be here shortly. There's a lot of shit to talk about, I've seen some of the stuff that you're putting up and everything. Pretty dope, bro. Like some of the stats that you're putting up as far as the quarterback is concerned. And then, yeah, you always, I like the way you be doing your shit, bro. Like, you kind of just do a little quick shorts on, like, you know, you very, very, like, you like all the stats and all that shit, bro. Pretty dope.
Yeah, you only got this thing with Instagram Reels, and I tell people this shit, like, because when I first started, like, I look back a year or two from now, it's like completely different. Like, it's so much better. My Reels are so much better than they used to be. Yeah, and like, I got feedback from my friends, and I'm like, hey, what about this edit, or what about this text here? And they're just straight up like, no, move this or use that. Like, this is kind of cluttered. I'm like, all right, you know. And I try it out, and like, and some people, we have a group chat. They're like, dude, this year's videos that you've done are some of the cleanest you've ever done. Like, keep doing that style, because you only have a minute and a half in a reel. That's it. You're done. So you got to keep it straight to the point. You got to have the topic right in the beginning, and then you go from there. Because about 30 to 45 seconds in, that viewership just goes tanks in half.
Really?
So, yeah.
30 seconds.
You got 30 to 45. People have short attention spans. Like, you know, they just.
That is true.
So you get their attention with the reel. You get that voice in there with the cap cut. So Joe Morley gave me a show. I had no idea what cap cut was. I'm like, hey, is that what you're doing these fucking the words underneath? Because I am not technological at all. So if you didn't know, my podcast, I don't do anything. I just show up, turn my camera on.
You just show up?
I don't do it. I don't do shit.
John is the one that sits
like,
all over.
I was messaging John. I'm like, hey, can you send me the edit? Because I don't know how to do it. But yeah, so we've been doing that. And then a couple people that do the Raider things, you know, the Raider pages, things like that, some of the big ones, they did some edits for me, so I've been using their stuff, and they've been working with me. It's been pretty cool.
That's what's up.
Most of my kids are here. What's up? What do you guys need?
Oh, kids,
I'm live. A lot of kids are like, hey, what are you doing?
Well, welcome to RaiderNationLive. I'm your host, Dirty Low. Well, actually, I'm changing it. It's just going to be Low. It's What's Up, Low. I got a new IG, man, so it's right there, right under me. It's right here. Got a whole new page and stuff like that. So you guys want to go over there, go to subscribe to me on IG. This channel is still going to be the same. It's going to be RaiderNationLive with me, Coach Gravy, and also Renegade 420. Like we always tell you around these parts, you know, be thankful what you do got, what you don't drink and drive. And then we got our special guest today is GOAT. You know, everybody knows him as the GOAT, but Josh, you know what I mean? We all know him. And yeah, I'm gonna get to the chat real quick and we'll get into it. Auntie, what's going on, bro? Member for 5 months. Salute to you, brother. Alfredo, what's going on, bro? So salute to you. Hopefully you're having a good one, man. Hopefully you guys had a good week. It's been kind of a couple days. I had to take a break, man. Raider Nation Explosion was great. It was fun. Met a lot of people. Talked to a lot of people. It was an experience. I was telling Josh behind the scenes, it was a lot of fucking work. It was a lot of work. It was something I've never done before, but I've learned it. And I told him, I said, it would be something I would like to do again, but then also not. But so yeah, but getting back into it, Mike, what's going on? Mike from Raiders Against the World. Shout out to you, bro. Hopefully you're having a good one. DJ Iman. Okay, I don't want to say it wrong. So Hill, what's going on, bro? Hopefully you're having a good one. My 2 cents, what's going on? SoCal Sound the building. We got Unfazed, 2 cents showing love. Alfredo, what's up? Unfazed showing love right now. AP the G, what's up? Raider Nation for life, just fucking win, baby. Let's go. Yes, sir. Who else is in the building right here? Unfazed. We got Free Thinker, Raider Dad, what's up? Hopefully you're having a good one. Sorry, guys, man. I know we're supposed to go live that Sunday, man, but it was a lot. It was a really, really lot. Like I was telling Josh that night when I left a little early, but I didn't get home until like almost 3:30 in the morning because there was a nice big brawl at the bar. And good times. So getting into it, man, a lot of shit's going on. Well, not a lot of shit's happened, but a lot of different things are going on. There's the quarterback debate. There's, you know, the mini camp. Mini camp is just going on. Mandatory mini camp. OTAs is coming up. Training camps coming up. There's all kinds of different things. AP spoke about the first, you know, spoke about his first first off season as the head coach. All these different coaches are coming out talking, like, Cadillac Williams. We got what's the name from Fresno State? Jesus Christ, can't think of his name off the top. Oh my God, cornerbacks coach.
Our quarterback coach?
Cornerback.
Oh, is it? No, it's not Eric Allen, right?
No, not Eric Allen. No.
Shit, who is it? Manning.
There you go. Manning. Yeah, his family's right here down the street. He went to Edison and stuff like that. I remember him. Coach Ryan was talking about everything. DA, Powers. Everyone was talking about everything, bro. It was fucking crazy, bro. Like, the media day was really, really nice. You get a chance to look at any of that or no?
Oh yeah. I've been so lazy the past couple of weeks about posting videos. Like, I got like 8 that I haven't posted yet. I really need to, because I pre-make a lot of my stuff because I'm busy all the time. So like, right. I have one all about the quotes. That's been the favorite thing. I've been screenshotting, cutting up, and then putting the quotes. And I'm like, hey, what was your favorite quote? For me, it was AP telling everybody shut the hell up about the quarterback situation. Like,
I like
down,
that
like
shit.
Done. And everybody's like, shit, we can't even ask about it anymore. He's like, worry about yourself. Awesome. Like to me, like, that's a dick move, but it's funny at the same time. It's like, no, don't worry about it. We're handling this internally. We're going to make a decision. Worry about yourself. And a lot of coaches don't do that. They kind of give the PC answer, like, everybody's a competitor. We haven't decided yet. May the best man win. And he's just like, no, shut up. I'm not talking about it. It was a different approach. It was a different approach than you used to see. So that was pretty cool. The other one was Andre James when he says, I'm a fucking monster. I just want to go out there and like kill people or something along those lines.
Yeah.
With I was like, and the reason I the quote's cool, but the reason I like it from him is because he's an undrafted free agent. He wasn't supposed to be in the NFL. He wasn't supposed to be a starter.
He wasn't supposed to be a center.
He wasn't supposed to be a center. He played opposite tackle of Colton Miller at UCLA. People don't know that. So if you ever see Colton Miller and Andre James walking around, it's because they were college teammates. They played opposite of each other.
I had no idea. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they played opposite of each other. Yeah. So that's why they're always hanging out together, because they were in college together for 3 years, and then they both played he got drafted, and then James came in for camp, and James made the team. Yeah. So we see things like that. I'm like, all right, we got some guys that are pretty gritty. And then what was the other one? Everybody's praising everybody. Jack Jones was calling everybody badasses. Our team is A+, and then Meyer said how our team's going to guard both me and Bowers, and I was like, that's exactly what a lot of people are thinking. You're going to have some issues.
Exactly.
So I need to do another video on that, because some people don't know. I mean, you're familiar with football. Coach Gravy is too. What an 11 and a 12 set is, what the difference is. And I was telling people, 11 is this, 12 is that. And people are like, oh, you actually know football. I'm like, it's fucking basic offensive concept.
Yeah. Shout out Raider Mania in the building. He says, I bought tickets for week 1 because I don't think I'm going to win Josh's raffle. If you guys haven't.
Yeah. So I'm giving away 2 tickets to SoFi for the home opener. So, not home over, sorry, 2024 kickoff. I have 2 tickets. I'm going to give it away on the 30th. I'm trying to get new subscribers so I can do that. So I made the decision, like, hey, I'm going to take a loss on these tickets. I already know that because I give away back all my subscriber money. But I want to be able to do that on a routine basis. I need more subscribers to give away Vegas tickets, let's be honest, because, they're fucking expensive.
Yeah.
But
I was looking at them already, so I'm like, the seats that I want, they're about like at least 400. So you're looking at about.
So I want to be able to do that. So go to my page, subscribe. Remember, every penny that goes in my subscription, it goes back to the nation every single time.
Yeah, so I didn't say it was over the D line. Nasty. This is what AP says. Raider Nation right here says Coach Ryan seemed to drop subtle hints about who players are. Like Little Jack Jones has trust issues.
Close the door.
That shit's hella funny. So the story of Max watching James hike the ball over everyone's head was thinking, what the fuck? I remember that shit. But I guess when they were in the podcast, they were bullshitting and stuff, and he said like, he goes, first time I hiked the ball, like I threw it over. So whoever, I think it was Carr's head at the time.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's crazy that Andre James. That's one of the things I didn't want to talk about because a lot of people give him shit. missing tackles, this, that, and the third. It's a long fucking season, bro. Some people can't even run a fucking mile, bro, let alone take fucking hits and hike the ball and be reading defenses and then playing consistently. It's a hard fucking position. And for him to come in undrafted and then turn around and never play center to play center, come on, man, you got to give that guy some kind of credit. Yeah. You know what I mean? Tubby, what up, bro? Salute to you, man. Hopefully you're having a good one.
I think he was. I'd have to look it up. I think he was the left tackle because was Colton Miller a right tackle in college? I think Miller was the left tackle. I'd have to look it up and see. I don't remember off the top of my head.
Miller was left. He's always been left tackle.
Okay, yeah.
It was because most of the time when we get linemen, they're we're gonna put him at look at what they did. Fucking Gruden put him at center. You know what I'm saying? And then we put fucking Diablo went from a safety down to a linebacker. We're always trying to put players where they don't need to be. You know what I mean? So, and then I kind of like the move with Parham to the right. You know what I mean? So it seems a little bit more solidified, but we'll see how it goes. But talking about Andre James, it just shows that this guy was so intelligent. Such a fucking beast. He's not a small guy. He looks small, but he's
no. Yeah, that's the monster. Next to Colton Miller, everybody looks small. Colton Miller's 6'7". But Andre James he's probably one of the biggest centers in the NFL. Centers aren't 6'4", 320. That's 330. Yeah. That's just he's huge for a center. Yeah. So
he's built like a guard.
Yeah, he's a fucking he was an undersized tackle, and then they wanted to move him to guard, and they figured him out at center, which is you can't beat that. But we got him for a couple more years.
Did he play guard at all for us?
No, he was a tackle. He was the opposite tackle.
Right, I understand that. But what I'm saying is because we had Ronnie Hudson when we came in, we had Osemele, and then we had Gabe Jackson. We had all those guys in the front. Penn was on the left-hand side, but Penn had already gone because we didn't have a right tackle, and then that's when we got Colton Miller. But when he came in undrafted, he came in as a center?
No, they moved him to center.
So then he came in as a tackle, like you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, he played tackle in college, and he's never played anything besides center in the NFL.
Fucking unfazed.
That's which is nuts, right?
yeah. That shit's crazy, bro. That shit's hella crazy. Shout out Raider Paul, man. Salute to you, unfazed. Tubby in the building, Charm City. Salute to you guys, man. All eyes. I see you, boy. What's up, bro? Ray Love in the building. Salute, man. Salute to you guys. So yeah, there's so much to fucking cover, bro. But I think as far as the offensive line is concerned with James, and then especially this new offense and stuff like that. Oh, that's why Parham's going to move to the right, because the power scheme or the scheme that they're actually going to be running, he wants to be out there a little bit more because apparently that's the way they're going to run it. They're going to be looking at him that way.
Yeah, Parham is not a pulling guard, so I mean Johnson is going to be faster than him and more athletic. So I saw they were like, oh, they're moving Parham, and it's like, yeah, they want to put Powers at the left side. He's probably a little bit better at pass blocking, maybe a little bit better run blocking, and he has a little more talent, a little higher caliber. The only reason people don't realize the only reason he fell, so he was hurt during the Senior Bowl. He had some ACL, MCL injuries and some knee problems coming out of the draft too, and then the year prior, and he only started 1 year, so that's kind of why he fell. But he's probably a first round talent. And centers don't get drafted in the first round. I'm sorry, it's not a thing really. Guards barely get drafted in the first round unless they're elite, like Nelson or somebody like that. Yeah. So
it's usually tackles. It's usually tackles.
Yeah, he was destined to be a second or third round pick because of his position. So, but that doesn't mean he's not talented. So he's first round talent. And during the draft, everybody said that if he was a tackle or played a different position, he's first round talent. It's because of his position. So he'll be good on that left side. He's stocky, he's fast, he's athletic. It's like a fucking bowling ball. Our offensive line's massive. So,
yeah, I was just big when I seen him sitting in that chair on media day, bro. I was like, God, man, he looked like a big ass baby. I was like, God damn,
I mean, you can forget, they're 22 years old, 320 pounds. They're just fucking round.
They're massive, bro. Massive ass dudes.
Him and Parham had the same body type. That's kind of, they're that 6'2", 6'3" range. And just, there's a difference if you look at Andre James or Colton, they're taller, they're lankier. And if you look at Parham and Johnson, they look like stocky wrestlers. They look like nose tackles. They're just low to the ground, center of gravity, and just fucking huge. So hopefully the O-line bullies people around. I'm still worried about the right tackle position, though.
Well, Coach AP said some shit that kind of I really thought about it, but yet I don't know. So Glaze, I don't see him starting, but Munford, like listen, when we're talking, one of the last podcasts I really want to talk about was I was watching the last couple games when Miller was out. When Miller was out, Munford was at the left tackle.
Yeah,
and he did a damn fucking good job at the left side, but not the right side. Hey, without further ado, hold on real quick. We'll keep talking about that. We got my man, Pots and Pans, Coach Gravy in the building. Hey, everybody. What's up, bro?
Pots and Pans. What's that all about?
Hey, how old are you now, man?
Don't even ask, Josh. I feel it.
Listen, check this out, guys.
A century in a couple of years. A half a century in a couple of years.
Yep, Coach is here. Hey, free thinker, Coach is here, man. Check this out. Everybody in the building, in the chat, man. Go to spam. HBD, happy birthday, Coach Gravy. He's about 80 now. Like, you look good for 80, bro. Like, you know what I mean? I'm proud of you.
Man. Half dead.
You know what I mean? So yeah, everybody, it's his birthday today. Happy birthday, Coach Gravy, man. I just want to give you a shout out, bro. Like, I thought about how I was gonna, say something, some good words. No, I'm fucking you. I was gonna tell you, man. Gravy, about 2.5 almost 3 years ago, we met up, and through the podcast, whatever, whatnot, he became one of my good friends. He's kept me out of a lot of shit, kept my head fucking straight. Even though sometimes we do argue in this bitch, it's not arguing. He's just trying to push me to better. And he's called a lot of shit. About some fake motherfuckers and told me to stay away from some fake motherfuckers. And I listen to him, not all the time, but most of the time. But shout out Gravy, bro. Thank you, man, for being a friend, a homie, and everything like that, brother. Happy birthday, bro.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate
it. Thank you too, Josh. Thank you too, Josh. Love your discussion. Love the discussion. Don't let me hold you. You were getting down with Munford.
Yeah, so we're talking about the whole offensive line and stuff like. Well, yeah, you heard it. So, me personally, we're talking about Munford on the right side, right tackle. Parham being there, he's a great dude. Like what we're talking about, but him going from left to right and playing center, I'm pretty sure those three positions right there are pretty good. That he can play any one of those guys, and that's what I like about Parham a lot. But if you really, really look at the development under with Munford. Coach AP is like, look, he's going to be going up against fucking Wilkins, Kuntz, Max Crosby, some of the fucking best players in the NFL. You guys don't think he's going to get better during training season? This is going on his third year?
Munford, yes, third year. Munford's a little slow. So Munford's a run blocker, though. That's the other part. So, that's the thing. He looks good. So I'll give you a little insight because me, I love the numbers. He gives out a pressure once every 10 plays, which is very high for pass blocking.
Right.
So he gets beat around the corner, doesn't necessarily give up a lot of sacks, but he gets the pocket collapse. So if he can fix that, he can be a solid, 20 ranked ish tackle, but it all depends where he goes. On that position. Last year, he played almost as many snaps as a starting tackle because they kept rotating him in. He played left side, he played right side, then he played tight end position too. So he played, pretty much as a rotational tackle, almost like borderline, a starter that might miss a few games is how many snaps he played. And he did okay. But he's a run blocker, through and through, which is what you need on the right side. You don't really have to protect the right side when you have a right-handed quarterback. So that's the only thing I'm really worried about is his pass blocking. But if it improves, he'll be a decent tackle on that side. He's beating out Glaze. Let's just be real.
Oh yeah, of course. He has the experience and shit. So yeah. I've always third year tackles. Look at Colt Miller. It took him about a year, but he came out. Being that guy, you know what I mean? So it's he had a little bit of time to develop and stuff like that. He really didn't get that much burn until next second year, like you were just talking about. So him going into this year, if he's going to be solidified at that point, there's a possibility, man, he might be able to. They might whip him into shape to where he'll be in a I wouldn't say Pro Bowl or knock down those numbers down. You know what I mean, for the pressure. You know what I mean. So hopefully that happens. That's what I'm looking at. But if you look at it too, you're talking about the 11 and 12 man set. That's going to be, fucking Myers giving him a little bump, and and to help him to do that too. What you think, Greg?
I think Bowers is going to start on the right side, and Myers is going to be on the left, because the only thing Myers better at than Bowers is, because he has a bigger body, is run blocking. That's it. That's the only thing he's better at him. So I would, and the thing is, when you do a bootleg, you do a boot to the right. You don't do a naked boot to the left very often. So I see Bauer starting on the right side because that's the pass-heavy side for tight ends. They might mix it up, but if they're too predictable and that kind of stuff, then they're like, oh, hey, Bauer's on the right, they're going to run left, or vice versa. This is the pass play where in this set. But I think Myers is going to start on the left side. You're going to have a really big left side for the run.
Yeah. Thank you, AP. What do you think, Gravy? Talk to me.
Like I said, great discussion right here. I'm talking offensive line. Josh hit the dot when he said, what I see him doing, what I see AP doing, and what Getsy's going to do is that he wants to establish running the ball. So he's getting guys that are primary run blockers, and then it'll be easier once you get the running game started, to do play action, and it's easier to pass block because you're gonna have more linebackers and more DBs out there. What he wants you to do, what Getsy wants you to do, because we have these two tight ends now, is he wants to create a mismatch. Anybody with Bowers or Mike on either side, he wants the little guys out there, or if they have a linebacker that could cover one of these guys, but then you got to cover the other one. So they're gonna bring in more DBs. Probably start out nickel, but what do? You bring another linebacker in to cover this fast guy, or are you going to bring in a big banger type linebacker to stop the run? You ain't going to know. And then right off the bat, that tells me right there that Getsy is going to get the upper hand with the running game. And then the thing I don't want is I don't want Craig to start messing with the rotation during game time, during real game time, like we were last year. It was 6 game in, and we were still switching Parham around. We were sipping Mudford around. The only one that was put was James and Miller. Those are the only ones that were set. So I don't want that to happen around. That means you really don't know what's going on. Game 1. The end of the training camp, get your offensive line solidified, get who's there, and we know who's already going to do it. I think they're going to let the big kid that we got from the draft, JPJ, whatever his name is. Yeah, we're going to let him be with the twos, and then gradually get some experience to move up instead of throwing them in here like they did Parham. Parham made a lot of mistakes, but it benefited Parham because he was next to Miller. And then if you do that to JPJ, put him next to Miller, that's somebody that knows what's up, then you'll have, that Powers Johnson is gonna be a dominant. He'll be with the ones. But right now, I'm hearing that White, that guy we got from Chicago, that he's starting at left guard. And JPJ is the 2. But I understand that because he needs to get his feet wet, bro. He needs to learn a lot.
I could see Parham losing the starting position to Whitehair in the beginning.
Yeah. Hold on real quick, Josh, we can continue with that. Shout out to homie Gabe. He just pulled up right now. Gabe, what up, bro? Salute to you, man. Hopefully you're having a good one. Gabe's in the building. I think he is.
Yeah, it's just
fucking up a little bit.
There we go.
What up, Gabe?
420.
Chilling.
All right, go ahead, Josh.
Finally.
I was saying I could see Whitehair beating somebody out for a starting position just because of his experience level. Mm-hmm. But that's the thing. If you're going to give the job to a 32-year-old guy, you kind of know what you're getting, 31. With the rookies, it's a little more unpredictable. but there's a lot more upside. And if you're going to give it to that 32-year-old, he has to be, not just barely better. He has to be a lot better than what's there, because you're delaying and hampering the development of a younger player to see what they have if you're going to start that 30-year-old. So that's the only way I see Whitehair, is if somebody gets nicked up or somebody has an injury, or Parnham shits the bed in camp. But I think Powers is going to be starting game one. That's just what's going to happen. That's what we drafted him for. And same with Parnham, because of his age, they want to see what he has, and we used a draft pick on him. He was the third rounder on him. Most people are in the third round. You expect them to compete for a starting job.
That's true. That's true. That I hope it works that way, Josh. But JPJ is already nicked up.
Yeah,
he's already dealing with the injury.
So I told people that I was like, that's why he's a second round pick. So he went into last year with the injury. He went to the Senior Bowl with injury. He's had lower extremity injuries. That's why he fell, and that being a center too as well. So this is kind of his history. He does have lower. What does he have this time? Like a knee or something like that in camp? Yeah, he's had those in the past. So
I thought it was a shoulder.
Is it
a shoulder? That's what I thought it was. So I heard that it was a shoulder, and I go, what are they doing to hurt his shoulder? Has this been lingering around, or he's not hitting anybody but a bag? It's a heavy bag, but maybe it's been an injury that he probably had, but. I like the kid,
and they put Whitehair in to take his spot.
That's why. And from Whitehair's point of view, he's hurt, and he's gonna have to bust his ass to get that job back.
Yeah, here's rookie right here. Yeah, it says JPJ will be the starter or left guard day one, like that.
Mm-hmm.
But if he's able to take the job, Pete or Whitehair could start in that spot. I mean, which is kind of expected. We got borderline starters as backups who could step in. Pete is a little over the hill, Whitehair's a little over the hill, but they got them at a cheap price, and they're good. They're good quality backups. They're not there to start. They're there to back up when people get hurt or get, miss a game or two, things like that, because that happens in the NFL. You don't want to be stuck with some schmuck that has no idea what they're doing. So they were smart getting the older guys as backups and not trying to develop some undrafted free agent from some small school that's undersized or can't do X, Y, and Z. It's like, no, you got a guy that started 90 games. He can step in when you.
That's what I would do. That's exactly what I would do. Even though he had a bad season, his last season with Chicago, but from what I was hearing, that team was all messed up. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it was the way this unit works together is the way our running game is going to be dictated, because I'm not very confident in our running game, Josh. So if they're going to do good, the offensive line is going to have to play up to they got to be up to speed first, second game of the season, or we ain't gonna go nowhere. And that we're going to blame it on the quarterback, but it's really going to be
what's new.
It's really going to be an offensive line issue. I just don't want no rotating around. You can't do that. You can rotate at certain situations if you have to pull, if you do zone or mix match. Because what I'm hearing is that Getsy's a multiple offense guy. So you can see the zone blocking, then you can see different plays. Because what his philosophy is that you have one running play. It's the same play every time. You just line up in 7 different formations. So it's the same play, though. So you want to run a counter. It's the same counter, but in different formations. So you can find a mismatch for play action. So he's a player or two ahead of the defensive coordinator. That's what you want. So it's gonna matter what that offensive line is doing to make White and all these running backs that we have that really haven't done anything in the NFL.
The odds though. The odds for Vegas or for White to be the rushing leader in the NFL. You know that?
Really?
Yeah,
I'll take that. I'll take
55% for White, one player. About 55% of all bets, about 54, something like that, in Vegas are for White to be the rushing leader in the NFL this year. Because we don't have anything else.
Those are all Raider fans, bro.
Yeah.
But and this, like me, I love numbers. I love PFF. Like I subscribe to all that shit. I hate PFF because Chris Collinsworth owns it. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
But I like the numbers that it shows. They have Minshew being our day one starter quarterback. They've already announced it. They put it on there. They've already started adjusting his numbers for that. PFF and StatMuse and those sites that kind of do the analytics think by the numbers, Minshew gives us the best chance to win and should be our starter. Period.
You just broke a lot of hearts right now, John.
Yeah.
You broke a lot of hearts.
I don't
right now.
AOC. I mean,
I'm the one. I think the same with you. We've been saying it, Josh. Me and you are the ones that are saying Minshew, but I haven't left that. I haven't left off that.
Before we get to the quarterback, let's talk a little bit about this offensive line. What we're talking about. 'Cause I know you're listening, Gabe. Shout out, Gabe, bro. Thank you for pulling up, man. It's Gravy's birthday.
Yeah,
Bro. It's Gravy's birthday.
Shout out, Gravy. Shit. How old, Gravy? 72?
72.
Why do people keep asking me that?
yeah. I mean, I did. I think he went to dinner at like 4:30 today. So
Yeah. Well, there,
I'm ready to take it now.
it was like 3:30.
gotta get that early bird.
Low called me because Low had the date wrong on his live, right? So I said everybody's gonna be saying where we at, but he had it for tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I said if he did it for tomorrow, cool. But yeah, the restaurant didn't open till 5, so I had to stay up for the end. Old grandpa shit, bro. Had a good steak, had a good. But Josh, I'm sorry, Gabe.
Right,
1 second.
Go ahead.
Have you been? You were in Fresno. Did you ever go to Richard's?
No.
Richard's
never,
Steak. You never went to Richard's Steakhouse?
Prime rib.
Oh.
Richard's prime rib.
Richard's
I mean, I'll
Prime
have
Rib.
to go.
Richard's Steakhouse.
I still have season tickets for the Fresno State game. So if you guys ever want them, just let me know because like half the games I can't go to because my kids' football and then the Raider game. I have
Let me
two
know
seats,
what games
like-
you can't go. I'll go to every single one of them.
I'm telling you right now.
I mean, the tickets they're not expensive. I think it cost me like $250 a year or something, but I've had them for like 6 years.
Yeah. Just when if you can't go, just hit me up and just let me know. Send them. We'll figure it out. I'll go.
We're gonna smack Michigan.
Yeah.
Harbaugh's
Yeah.
gone.
That's our first game of the season against Michigan.
Hey, that game's gonna buy like a new stadium turf or like some new gym equipment. They're getting paid for that game.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna name it Josh the Goat Stadium, bro. Right
Yeah.
there.
Talk to me, Gabe.
All right,
Talk to
Gabe,
me
go
now.
ahead, man. Go ahead,
I just
Gabe.
think- To be honest, I think right now with the offensive line thing, I just think you seen Powers Johnson. He literally at the beginning of OTAs he was the starter. He was running with the ones. He got hurt, and I think they put in Whitehair just because of his familiarity with Getsy's offense and stuff like that. They just put him in because they want the offense to run smooth, right? They want the offense to run smooth while they're OTAs, while they're getting stuff, getting it going. You know what I mean? The first time these guys are in the building type shit. Like, so it's like, I think that's the only reason they even have Whitehair in there right now. Because I don't think I don't think he's going to start over Powers. And I just think that right now it's just that right now. And I think you've seen Powers Johnson come back, I think, to practice, I think this week or something like that, which the last day was cut because I think Antonio Pierce also said it. I think they were going, he felt, pleased with the work that they were doing in camp and stuff like that. They were working hard, and I think it has a lot to do with nothing, dog. To be honest, I just think at the end of the day, I think we have our starting offensive line. I think it's Powers Johnson. I think it's Cole Miller. I think it's of course it's gonna be Andre James because they didn't sign him for nothing. And I mean I've always liked Mumford, and I do think Parham's gonna get it. I like Andres Pete, but I haven't really heard anything too much of him. But I think Parham, at the end of the day, I think he's been getting a little bit better here and there. I think he's had his struggles, but he's been solid. And I just think our offensive line as a whole, I think is going to be better this year. And that's why I think a lot of people are betting on White. I don't necessarily think he's going to be the leading rusher in the league, but I think our offensive line improved enough to where I've said it, plenty of times on the show. He will reach 1,000. I know 1,000 yards ain't the same as it was before, but he will reach 1,000 yards.
If he gets 1,000, I'll be impressed.
That's why I was saying, like, I'm not worried about our running game. I think Getsy, to be honest, I think that's one of his strengths. Scheming up a run game. I think we have plenty of experience back there to, you know what I mean, especially in the offensive side. You know what I mean? With Joe Philbin, we got, the names we got back there. You know what I mean? We got Hugh. We got, so it's, I think that all of that, it's, our running game coordinator in Caldwell. So it's like, I just think all of that, head coaching experience is, I honestly don't think that we're going to be lacking in the coaching. I think a lot of people might see us as, because our leader at the helm is maybe considered a rookie coach, but to be honest, we have experience everywhere. We have so much head coaching experience on this coaching staff that it's crazy, bro. Like, you know what I mean? So I honestly think that's why I think that that's why I have no worries about our running game, to be honest. I have more worries about our passing game. Well, because of the favoritism they have for AOC right now. I've always said that I think at the end of the day, it's going to be Minshew. I think AOC is going to make it hard for him in camp, but at the end of the day, I think it's going to be Minshew. But it just sounds like they're saying the right things right now for AOC to gain his confidence. That's all.
Well, because Minshew's not a long-term solution. Let's be realistic. He's a stopgap.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We're going to draft something next year, regardless of what either one of them does, unless like Minshew or AOC has a blowout year, 30 touchdowns, something like that, and gets a playoff run. It's not going to happen. We're drafting a quarterback. This whole thing, AOC was a first-round pick. Like, get the fuck out of here. No, he wasn't. Nobody said that ever. I don't know.
Who said okay, what?
Remember, you don't remember that the couple weeks ago, like, oh, an NFL insider says. I'm like, no, they didn't. Like,
he was a draft pick this year. Yeah, if he was a draft pick this year, he would have been a first-round pick. That's crazy.
No, he's never had first-round talent. He's never had a good deep ball. That's just what he was in college. That's fine. He's a third to fifth round talent. There's people that are third to fifth round talents that start in the NFL. Not really a quarterback, but at other positions. So, when
he's not Sam Darnold, I'll tell you that much. And he's not some of these fucking guys, Tannehill.
Sam Darnold's ass, first of all.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, like the level of disrespect that they're giving him. They have Sam Darnold, wherever the fuck he's at, in his quarterback room better than ours. There's no fucking
no. They have Denver. Denver has Zach Wilson. And they're ranked right below us, like the worst quarterback in NFL history. Is competing for your starting job. Like, no, it's better than the Raiders. Okay. But at the same time, so this is the thing. It goes back to numbers. AOC was a 25th ranked to 30th ranked quarterback last year. That's just what he was. Yeah. Minshew is a little bit more efficient. Minshew's good in the red zone. This whole thing like, oh, AOC has all the tools and has a caliber arm. Yeah, there's a lot of quarterbacks that have strong arms. Like that's. Every quarterback can throw the ball 70 yards. It doesn't matter. It matters about their accuracy.
When are people going to think that doesn't mean shit?
It doesn't. It doesn't.
Every quarterback has a good arm.
You're not throwing the ball 60 yards every single time. And a prime example, I remember when David Carr had Patrick Mahomes on his show, and they were throwing the football as fast as they can. David Carr, in a suit, been retired for years, threw the ball maybe a mile or two slower than Mahomes. Because David Carr had a fucking cannon for an arm and did nothing with it. That guy could throw the ball 80 yards if he wanted to.
Dude, he couldn't get the fucking ball. He had like 1 second fucking after the snap.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Arm strength is not everything. There's fundamentals. There's IQ. Take Tom Brady versus Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is probably the most talented quarterback I've ever seen in my life. Mm-hmm. Tom Brady has the fundamentals and the intellect. The skill set, if you took the skill of Tom Brady versus the skill of Aaron Rodgers, it's not even close. Aaron Rodgers athletically is leaps and bounds better than him, but Tom Brady understands the game better. Same thing with Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning understood the game better than anybody and would be laughing when he was calling plays against defenses. Like, he was doing better than the coordinator would against others' defenses. So there's a lot of things that do matter into it. So just because he can throw the ball doesn't matter. And also, again, numbers, Devontae Adams had about 300 to 400 yards of missed throws last year. So think about that.
Fucking Lou said AOC knocked at my door and tried to give me a watchtower. Fucking Lou. Shout out Lou, bro. He's stupid. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
What is he, a witness or for real, or is that a joke?
For me, bro, like the whole Man, the whole AOC thing, like, I like the kid, but see,
I
this is the
gotta
thing.
go.
One of the things that I like when I watch the podcast, you can tell a lot by people's demeanor. I think he overthinks. Me being a fucking chronic overthinker, like, I know that kid overthinks, but he's talented. He's very not analytical, but he's a very intelligent football player. If you want to say it like that.
He had to, love. Yeah, he had to.
He had to learn. He had to know everything, right? But see, Minshew's kind of like a guy that just goes with the flow type deal. You know what I mean? I'm not saying he's not smart. I just know that AOC's smarter. And what you had said, Josh, is one of the things is that, like, he's not athletic, but about Tom Brady. I'm not comparing him. I'm not saying he's Tom Brady, but I'm saying is he has a lot of the same qualities of Tom Brady. You know what I mean? In a sense, not just a number or anything like that. I noticed that about him because you look at Tom Brady, he was real quiet at the beginning, first fucking year when he came in under Bledsoe, but he sat for a little bit and learned under Bledsoe. Bledsoe was a good quarterback at the time, you know, no bullshit. But like, I'm not saying he's Tom Brady, he's going to win 7 Super Bowls or anything like that. I just feel a little bit more comfortable with him because he's going to be able to, how do you say, articulate and get the fucking plays off right and get the. He's more of it's like a comfortable. I'm not saying he's gonna win us everything, to where like Minshew's like kind of how do you say
it? Reminds me of like a Brett Favre, just like a gunslinger.
Kind of just fuck it, just run.
Yeah,
with
but
it.
The thing is, you've never heard bad things about Minshew. We've never really nobody's ever really talked about his worth ethic, so we don't know what it is.
Right.
But on top of that,
he just needs a shot, bro. He needs a shot. We're gonna give him a shot.
Yeah, he's never been
a shot.
Yeah, he's always been the second fiddle. They've always drafted a quarterback over him, and guess what happened?
He was a 6th rounder, right?
Yeah, and so they drafted Lawrence to overtake him, and that was the thing. They're like, "Holy shit, we got this, late round draft pick that threw for 20-something touchdowns his rookie season," and then Lawrence comes in and takes his job. Yeah. Then he goes to Philly and kind of just disappears for a couple years, and then, Indy picks him up as a backup and their quarterback, and he takes him to a winning year, Indianapolis. With no defense. They had a better line than us. They had a better running back, but everything else was weaker, and he won with them, and he beat us. So I think him as the starter this year gives us a chance. We only got a 2 to 4 year area to keep this defense intact. So, the windows are small. The NFL windows are tiny. You got to win while you can. We are a quarterback play away from making a playoff run. And we're also quarterback play away from missing the fucking playoffs. That's how bad it is. That's our weakest position. And it's bad. So one of them needs to do something. And if they don't, they're both going to be gone in a couple of years.
Yeah.
They just need to score in the red zone. And Minshew does that. Minshew has the background, the numbers that he does that. Aiden doesn't do it.
Yeah. So and what really bothers me about Aiden, there was 3 games he was non-existent. Kansas City, Minnesota, and then the other KC game in when we won. He was non-existent for multiple quarters. And I hate to bring it up, we had another quarterback where that happened, where they just disappeared. Derek Carr, for quarters at a time, he would just be gone. And it's just like, you can't have that at the NFL position. You're not going to be able to win games like that. Like some of those games, we got lucky. If we had just a little bit better quarterback, we'd have made the playoffs last year. That Minnesota game exposed him as a quarterback to show, hey, against an average defense, like, he could just be shut down. And then he played Kansas City against an elite defense and didn't complete a pass for 2 or 3 quarters. So that shows his weaknesses. As an NFL caliber quarterback, you can't have that happen. You just can't. That's not a thing. It's just, that's what worries me.
I can't take 5-5 as a rookie, Mikey. I can't do. You be logical, bro. Yeah. You can't. And I know he went 8 touchdowns, 1 pick or whatever. But what did he do in the red zone? You got 8 touchdowns and what, 5 games?
Yeah. There was one of the things that I was saying about Minshew too, like, he kind of would drop off, like, say 3rd quarter, 2nd quarter, he wouldn't do nothing. But then that last quarter, first couple series, you'll drop off for about 2 or 3 series. But yet he did have some receivers around him. And even my boy, we were bullshitting about it. You know what I mean? Because we're getting ready for this for the fantasy football. And he was like, man, he goes, if you get a chance, if he starts, man, I would take Minshew because Minshew got him a couple wins last year because of the way he plays, bro. He plays a little bit looser. I'm not saying he doesn't know the sport, but it just seems like for this system, it seems like Aiden's going to fit a little bit better because it's going to be more run dominant than anything. It's going to open up the play action for him. But it's one of those things, bro. It's like whoever shows up, bro, I'm not going to be upset with either way because either way we got those guys. Even there was fucking sitting there talking about that Anthony Brown had a better fucking mini camp than these two guys. Anthony Brown's not going to.
He better have because he's been there. He's been there. Three years, Anthony Brown. He's a mobile guy, move around a little bit. I'm not asking this guy to run for first downs, bro. I'm just telling him to get out the way.
Yeah.
He has a problem with that.
I got a question, guys, right here. It says, hi, fellas. Shout out Dark, man. Salute to you, bro. Hopefully you're having a good one. What do you guys think about the offense struggling to grasp this new offense? Should it be a concern? And how much should they retain before the season starts? What do you guys think about that?
Retain what? Retain the playbook? It's a whole new offense.
I don't think it's going to be hard because both of these guys ain't fucking Justin Fields. They'll be fine.
Yeah. I was just about to say that. And I'm starting to regress off my Justin Fields take from a long time ago. I was looking at his athleticism, and that's what we needed. We just needed somebody. I was tired of the sacks. I was tired of getting sacked on crucial downs of holding the football. And it was different. We have different guys now. But I know that Minshew will not do that. Minshew will get sacked. It happens. But this guy just won't get out of the way, bro. And it's hard to teach, bro. It's hard to teach in a season to be that aware, that clock in your head. You got to develop that. And everybody says, well, why don't you let him develop? Why don't you let him develop? You can't develop your quarterback during real game time. He's not developing. He's in situations where he needs to dominate those situations and make things happen. You can't sit there and say, well, you got to pick. Okay, it's all right, Aiden. They got the ball now. We lost the ball. We were at the 20. You threw a pick in the end zone. That hurts you, bro.
Yeah.
That hurts you big time. And you've seen that a lot. Inexperience, yes. I understand that. But get used to getting it in the end zone to the guys that are open. Yeah.
I look at it overall,
and I'm hearing, I'm hearing Bo Hart agree. Yes, that's an excuse. But you had to know the offense. You have to know who's open. They're telling you in the huddle, I'm open. You got two good receivers. Your 1 and 2 is probably one of the best in the league. Anybody can say that. Top 10 at least duos that we have. And then we add this tight end too. That's another weapon he has. But just be good in the red zone and good things will happen. Aiden, we won't be saying let's develop. Let's do this. He starts doing successful things. Even if we run the ball in the red zone, I'm cool with that. Score touchdowns, man. Don't go 3 and out. Don't throw picks. It's all bad.
So with our community that we have here, Raider Nation Live, we did a poll, and I think it was like 78% wanted AOC to start. You know what I mean? And the other, 28%, whatever, were not. They went Minshew. You know what I mean? So it's like there's kind of more of a divide, but I think it's kind of like what the nation. Well, with us and how people feel about it, I think we're more feelings compared to what we need to actually happen on the field. You know what I mean? We got to kind of put Josh, you got to put the numbers up, even though those numbers are exactly pretty much the same. But there's been times when Minshew had no offensive line. You know what I mean? He had no offensive line. When he went to Jaguars, bro, when he went to the Jags as a 6th rounder, bro, all they had was defense, and that defense was being broken up. All he had was Leonard Fournette and no offensive line. And then he actually made some shit happen. You know what I mean? And then going with the Colts last year, he wasn't planning on starting. So it's like I was kind of excited when we brought him in, but I knew that it was going to be a good competition, especially the numbers that are up there. They're very, very similar. But they are
similar quarterbacks, and like what I said, what Minshew. The problem is both quarterbacks need to increase their accuracy to be effective starters. They both only complete about 60% of their passes, which is too low for the NFL. They're about 61, 62. You need to be at the 65% mark, generally. But on top of that, this is the first year Minshew actually turned the ball over a lot. Normally he doesn't. His turnover ratio is super high. His touchdown to turnover ratio. And this was the first year he turned the ball over a lot because he was having to play hero ball a lot and throw the ball. He threw the ball like 500 times last year, that's not what he's built to do. Mm-hmm. He's built to sustain drives, to score touchdowns, to make sure you have no 3 and outs, and he scores in the red zone. That's what he is good at because he can scramble. He gets sacked less with a lesser offensive line and threw up comparable numbers with a team that was lesser than us. Regardless of what you say.
Just by hearing that, Josh, I would start Minshew.
Yeah.
You're good in the red zone. You're good in the red zone.
That's what
don't turn the ball over.
What have we been fucking horrible at for years?
Red zone.
Fucking red zone. We'll get the ball down
even
the
with
field.
Carr. Even with Carr. Even with Garoppolo.
Problem.
For a long time. Even when Gruden was there. Couldn't score. Carlson was our freaking top MVP offensive threat.
Yeah,
you want that again?
Minshew had like 3 rushing touchdowns last year or something like that. And then I want to say, I pulled it up. I'd have to pull it up again because we talked about this. One of the things I went through, they're like, why do you think Minshew was going to be the starter? And I knew going in we were going to talk about it, so I prepped on it. I want to say like 10 of his touchdowns were in the red zone. Like 10 out of like 18 touchdowns, almost half. He scores in the red zone. And he's very efficient at it. He turns the ball over, and I pulled up all the numbers. He turns the ball over on the other side of the 50. So when he's the beginning of the drive, he's trying to throw the ball deep, or he's trying to play hero ball, or he's running for his life, which happened a lot last year. So even with more pass attempts, he was pressured more than AOC, and he was sacked less percentage-wise. So he can get out of the pocket and move around. And I want to say one game he had like 5 or 6 sacks against them. So most of his sacks were in one game from last year.
Oh, okay. So how can I say this? Even though I like AOC a lot, man, I feel a little bit more comfortable with this team and these players. I feel a little bit more comfortable with Minshew starting. I really, really do. Like, it sucks to say, I want to see the underdog get whoever, but he is an underdog. Both our quarterbacks are underdogs, bro. No matter what. I think he's gonna give us a better chance of winning, bro. I really, really do, and I fucking hate to say it because I really, really like AOC, but I got to put my feelings away. Somebody put it up here. Circus said, as long as we're fucking winning, who gives a shit? I don't care if it's fucking Jacoby Myers back there throwing fucking touchdowns, bro.
We fall in love with mid-level players. Stop it.
Yeah.
Who says that, Lo?
I don't know, some dude that just turned 80 today, bro.
Yeah, exactly, Josh. We fall in love. That's why we're gonna get pissed off because Diablo's gonna get let go. We're gonna get pissed off because
he's not good enough to start.
And all these people with number 5 jerseys thinking that Diablo did something, and it's gonna be, well, he was a good player. We always get rid of homegrown.
We had one of the worst running defenses in NFL. Why? Because you got a fucking safety playing linebacker.
And when it comes to quarterback play, when it comes to quarterback play, is that we're gonna have a mediocre quarterback, which we think it has a cannon for an arm that can working on his mobility, and I'm not dissing the dude. I'm not dissing the guy. Yeah, he's a beast and all this. He's been in the weight room. He's in the weight room. He's in the weight room. He's come out looking like you, Josh. You know what I mean? Now 1 year. 1 year.
First of all, if AOC goes in the weight room and comes out looking like me, that dude's gonna fucking burn through a cup pissing in it. So
yeah, exactly. If he has a great season, he ought to piss in the cup because I'm gonna be very surprised. I'm rooting for the dude. Everybody thinks I don't like the guy. I know quarterback play, and I know what he needs to improve on. So he needs to sit down. He's learning a new offense. Both of them are. And that's why people are saying that the offense is making a lot of mistakes right now because the defense is always ahead of the offense during training camp. Always. It's easier because the defense is mostly physical. Our defense is going to be pretty damn good. And if we start off slow, I'll understand that because we're too hype. But offensively, I think we're gonna start. We're gonna be pissed, and then we're gonna gradually move on, and then we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it, saying this guy ain't the man. So when are we gonna make the move? So when will we make the move? When will AP make the move?
Next year.
He needs to shut his mouth and quit saying, "Oh, he deserves this, he deserves that." But if he can't beat Minshew out, he don't deserve shit to me. But sit down and just wait.
Hey, who said Andre James is the mid-level center of the league? Somebody just said that.
Let's see real quick. Unfazed.
All right, so unfazed. 3 penalties all year. Played almost 1,000 snaps. 3 penalties. Played almost 1,000 snaps. 4 sacks. How was that mid-level? I want you to really think about that. And
what was his pressures? What was his pressure looking like?
He gave up about 20 pressures all year.
It's not bad. That's not bad. Out of 1,000 fucking snaps.
1,000 snaps, bro.
Snaps. He doesn't come off the field.
That's great.
That's
great.
So grading wise, pass block, PFF, all that kind of stuff, he's a top 10 center. He's probably not top 10. He's probably like 12. He's right at that echelon where if he improves again this year, he's going to be a top 5 to 10 center. He needs to develop. He's still young. He was an undrafted free agent, and to get to the level that he's at is not very common.
So, did you know that, Lo?
Yeah.
Did you know that, Lo?
Yeah.
Did you know he was undrafted?
And also when he had mentioned, like, I knew that he was undrafted. I didn't know that he wasn't a center. He was a tackle. I didn't know that. And he came in from a tackle to a center. He even moved guards. You know what I mean?
He went to UCLA. Didn't he go to UCLA with Miller? He was his guard.
Colt Miller's probably like, "Hey, bring my boy in," because he was an undersized, slow tackle, so he didn't get drafted.
Yeah. Did he play right tackle? Because if Colt Miller was doing it,
he swapped back and forth.
Okay.
Yeah, he only started 2 seasons and he played both positions.
Yeah.
People just see him getting pushed back low, getting out muscled. He's light in the ass center. I would rather have that light center in the zone blocking where he was successful at. Go there when we were running the zone blocking with Gruden. The year before, McDaniel was there for 2 years, right? 1.5. Then that year that he was with Gruden, when we were doing the zone blocking, we weren't talking no shit on Andre James at all because he was moving.
Yeah.
And he's quick. He has good footwork. So that's why these guards are getting placed there. Oregon, the epitome of zone blocking. We got a guy in the midst of starting, that knows how to do that. All our guards know how to move. All our tackles know how to move. He's getting the players to do it. But they just got to do it fast. So ain't nothing wrong with James to me. I seen him get pushed back. I seen him get, that happens almost sometimes it don't. You great centers, you won't see Kelsey getting pushed back because he's 330 pounds, bro.
Yeah.
James is barely pushing 300. Barely pushing 300.
Even though our guys are big, a lot of them are pass blockers. Like it's sad to say. Colt Miller's a pass blocker. Munford is a run blocker, but Artem was a pass blocker in college. James was a pass blocker in college. That's what they were better at than run blocking. And if you look at their pass blocking skills, they're generally a little bit better than their run blocking because they are a little bit bigger. They're a little bit either they're undersized or they're a little bit longer than they should be. And so it's hard for them to power run block people. They're more of an athletic line. They're big, but they're athletic. They're not these big, stout, just 6'7", 340, 350 everywhere. I'm going to fuck you up. No, they're pass blockers. And I've been telling people that about James. I'm like, he was a fucking tackle. He's a pass blocker. He's not a run blocking interior lineman. Go, oh, he sucks. He gets blown off the line. I'm like, he's good at pass blocking. That's what he does. He doesn't give up sacks interior line. There's some nasty interior linemen that he goes against, and he holds up pretty well.
And he's once in a while he's gonna get beat by the best, bro. There's badass,
not the
badass nose tackles.
You good?
Cool. Yeah.
What'd you think about Andre James, Gabe? I know you.
Andre James. Shit, let me get the shit out of my mind real quick. Fuck. All right. Andre James, dog. I mean, you know how I fucking felt about him when we signed him. You know what I mean? I think we wanted a different. I think I wanted a different center, but to be honest, at the end of the day, you know, looking at his stats, I know when he went up against, you know, the higher end, you know, defensive tackles, which, I mean, the dudes that actually, you know, kind of bullied him around were dudes that were all pros or shit like that. But then again, though, you don't want nobody being able to punk your center. You know what I mean? So it's like, and he was, you know, that dude was 3 yards in the backfield when he was, you know, up against, you know, Chris Jones and, you know, the what's his name, the dude from the Jets. You know what I mean? Like when he played up against those guys, he was like being manhandled. You know what I mean? So, I mean, obviously, you didn't want them to break the bank with them, which they didn't. Which that's the only reason it didn't get me so, you know, so mad about it, like, or so upset about it. But I mean, hopefully he improves. I mean, that's the only thing. I think he will, just because the mere fact that the whole offensive line, I think, is going to be better as a whole, which is going to help him out.
So you said, okay, Josh just said this, and I didn't know this, but out of 1,000 snaps, you only had 20 pressures. How many sacks did he give up?
4.
4 sacks out of 1,000 snaps.
Yeah, and it was basically it was against. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It wasn't necessarily against the whole league. It was necessarily against the dudes that were, you know, the all pros in this league. Which that's why when you're looking back at it, you obviously don't want you obviously don't want him getting punked by anybody. But when you see the caliber of players that were actually doing that to him, you kind of like, damn, those type of dudes do that shit to a lot of dudes. But then again, like you want him to improve, which I think is going to be better, just because you can't expect to win one-on-ones against those type of players anyway. It's just the same thing like when you're facing against like our guy like Max Crosby or shit like that. So I think that's like when you're looking at it, that you obviously want your guys to be the studs and not being punked by anybody. But I think we actually, it was a good signing, to be honest, because I mean he's cheap. He came not. He didn't break the bank, you know what I mean? He's solid. I mean, like Josh said, he only gave up 4 sacks, you know what I mean? So it's like, I mean, you don't want him to give up none, but I mean that's the goal. But at the end of the day, we could be a lot worse. It could be a lot worse off at center.
Yeah. Like okay, I wish I could. I'll look it up real quick.
I've got a problem with Andre James. I think he's gonna blossom in this offense again, because this is just his cup of tea right here, and we'll see it. And people are gonna know, and people are gonna know that, and gonna say, you know what, I was talking shit about Andre James. Yes, he's light in the ass.
Does fit him better.
Yes, he's light in the ass. But Josh just told you the stats. I didn't know that, Josh. The snaps he did and left that much.
So you're talking about Jason Kelce. We can probably agree Jason Kelce's one of the best centers ever played, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Andre James gave up less pressures and less hurries than Jason Kelce did. Like, Jason Kelce is a fucking killer run blocker. That's what makes him better. Killer run blocker. That's where Andre James is weaker. Andre James is a pass blocker. You know, I'm just pulling it up real quick because I was curious to see, because I know he ranks in like the top 5 to 10 when it comes to like hurries and sacks and things like that. So I was pulling it up and I was like, yeah, I'm looking at, you know, the top 10 centers in the league, and you know, the center for New Orleans, the same thing as top 10 center. The center for KC, top 10 center. They give up the same or more sacks than Andre James did. And then, you know, as far as pressures go, like he's good. You know, he doesn't give up very many pressures or very many hurries or quarterback hits. He have 4 hits all year. That's it. 4.
And that's what's going to dictate our quarterback production, is how that unit plays, to me. Just the 5 of them, not including the tight ends, you know, or the running back chipping, or the tight end blocking down, whatever. They're all going to be moving. But the thing is, the offensive line needs to be set in stone already, besides injury, that it needs to be developed and done with game 1 of the season. When we go to LA and watch the Chargers, that offensive line should be solidified solidified weeks before running that system.
Yeah,
I worry.
We know Getsy's
that comment right there. I think they worry about I think people worry about the wrong stuff too much, though. Like we have money, and to be honest, at the end of the day, it's like Vegas. If they have to go a little bit over or whatever, when you're a winning team, they'll toe the line. They'll cross the line if they have to. You know what I mean? It's that's not. You don't have to worry about how we're gonna be moving forward, paying guys like that's just.
I think Adams is gone in a year or two. To be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
I think we'll ship him out. I think we'll ship him out probably 2 years.
What if we restructure?
Read the comments. So I'm fucking fact checker 101. So Ray Love, you said Minshew fumbles the ball too much. He had 2 fumbles last year and didn't lose any. I know that just off the top of my head because I've talked about him. So it's like people have this concept of players, but they don't dive into the numbers. Minshew has one of the best turnover ratios to touchdown ratios in NFL. It's like 2.5. Aaron Rodgers is elite at like 3.5.
We're talking about fumbling. Nobody ever fumbled more than Carr.
No, it's like if people are gonna throw out garbage in the chat, like I'm not trying to be a dick. I keep shit in my head all the time. I have multiple screens open. I have stats open. I have numbers open. I review stuff before I get on. Like that's what I'm known for. So always when you comment things, like I tell people, always double check your stats, double check your numbers, and then make the comment because there are people who will fact check you in the comments. There are people who will fact check you online.
And they hit you
and I'm fucking infamous for it. Like I'm like, nope, that didn't happen. Here's your numbers. Here's the link. Have a good day. And then I'll just leave, let it be. But
that's crazy.
But I don't got a problem with James. I think James is gonna work out. You know, if anybody new good's in there, then you're gonna have a problem because they don't know the calls. You know how the flow of the game is better than James. That they do so much things than just snap the ball and block. They do so many pre-snap. They're the quarterback of the offensive line, and then. That's why James is there. You keep a long guy. When we got rid of Hudson, I was pissed when we got rid of Hudson because, it was over a money thing. But he dominated that line of scrimmage, dude, just with calls and information to his other guys. That's what made our offensive line good.
Well, there's a reason why they say the center is most of the time the smartest guy on that field.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, 1,000%.
So, well, I mean, but even he said it. Like, if you guys listen to the podcast, I always listen to the podcast, bro. I mean, I do look at numbers, not like Josh does, but like, you know what I mean. I kind of take a glance at shit, but I kind of like go off the players and how they react and how they talk. Like, and so the Rush podcast is like fucking great for me because I can actually like see the type of mentality, what they want to do, if they're dogs or not. You know what I mean? But when you really, really look at it, like. I forgot where I was going with it. Minshew, about like turning over the ball and stuff like that, bro. Like, there's certain times where you just have a bad game, bro. There's just certain things about this game. The game is never going to be perfect. That's where a lot of people got to tend to understand that this game is never going to be perfect. You're going to have turnovers, you're going to have fumbles, but nothing to the extent to where we've had before. Especially with these guys, even though what's the name was a fucking rookie, he didn't give up the ball a lot as a fucking rookie. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I think probably other fucking quarterbacks gave up the ball more than fucking AOC did. I mean, shit. Fucking what's the name gave up the ball more, and he didn't even play fucking quarter of the games, and that was Garoppolo. So, you know what I mean? Like, moving into like what they've done in the prior kind of gives you an idea of what they could possibly do in the future. So, if you really, really look at it, these are some good points that we're all making. As far as James only giving up 4 fucking sacks out of 1,000 fucking snaps, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Parham apparently.
There are centers who didn't give up any sacks last year. There are centers.
Which centers are that?
I have to pull it up. There are centers that didn't give up any sacks. There's players that don't give up sacks. It's not very common. Usually give up like 1 or 2,
right?
But there are players. And guys commenting on guard. So Minshew, 2 rushing fumbles, 6 passing fumbles. That's what he had last year. I think he lost like 4, something like that. I'd have to pull up the exact numbers. It's not very many fumbles.
Minshew had fumbled 1 more than Carr last year.
I mean, you have to be better than somebody 1 year at least in the category.
You look. That's the thing. You look at a career. Look at it career-wise versus a single season. If you look at it longevity, some people have problems over their entire career. Some people have problems over 1 year. Over his career, Minshew doesn't turn the ball over. Over last year, he was running for his life because they didn't have a defense, and he was playing hero ball.
And
He
he
threw
didn't
the
have
ball 500 times last year.
Yeah, they didn't have offense.
He get no help.
No.
He didn't get no help.
He was pressured like fucking 20% of the time. It's like he's running for his life most of the time.
Mhm.
So it's like he had 2 fumbles outside the pocket while running the ball. That's it, and didn't lose any of them. And so, when I tell people that, I'm like, no, he doesn't fumble the ball. He doesn't turn the ball over very much. Last year, he had the most turnovers he ever did in his entire career, and he still won 9 games with no defense.
Damn.
What do you want to say?
And beat AOC.
Like,
Shit.
And he probably had a better red zone percentage than our quarterback,
Definitely.
and probably others. Those 12 or 14 games that he played, probably had a better red zone.
Yeah, what was the red zone? Yeah, so okay, let's do that.
I can pull it over. Let me
I
see.
think Mitchell threw the ball away more than
they break
AOC.
down. So there's StatMuse, there's PFF, and then there's NFL Analytics. What they do is they break down the QBR inside the 20 and inside the 10. And I really got into those when Derek Carr played because they're like, I was like, between the 20s, he's like a top 10 quarterback. The minute you get to inside the 20, he dropped to like 30th. And that's a real problem. You okay there?
Yeah.
That's what made me change off cars. I started noticing that. It was years before, but I always held my breath with him, Josh, because he was my guy. You know what I mean? I loved him in college. I love seeing him in college, but I just got it out of my head. This dude's just making mistakes. We're losing games because what he's doing.
Yeah.
And then that's what made me stick. If you're losing games and sticking with the guy that's making mistakes, and the ball's not there where he's supposed to be, we're saying he's an accurate guy. He throws it. And there was a lot of drops. It could have been on the receivers, but those balls I've seen a lot of balls that were misplaced too.
So
they weren't open.
10 touchdowns, 1 interception in the red zone last year.
Damn.
And then let me pull up his rushing touchdowns. I think it was 3.
So Stem T, shout out Stem. He says right here, Aiden versus Indy had 299, 2 touchdowns. Garner had 15 completions for 224, and 1 touchdown versus us. Head to head, give me a break.
Hey, what's the most important stat though? What's the most important stat? The dub.
The W.
The W.
The W.
Who won the game?
And on top of that, Minshew did that against one of the top 10 defenses in the league with no line and no defense.
Yeah.
We were bragging. We were
And our
all
defense was
bragging
fucking
on
good
how
shit.
good that defense was, how awesome our defense was, and it was a good
Going
defense.
into that game, how good our defense was playing.
We were top, getting up there to number 1. You know what I mean?
Well,
In the
we
second
were
half of the
already
season.
at that point #1 scoring defense.
Oops.
And the dude was dissecting our secondary. I was telling Lowe, dude, he had like 10 completions in a row, bro, up the middle of the field and on the sideline and this and that. I go, but the game was close.
I think that one pass that kind of like that hurt us bad, dog, and he made a hell of a fucking play when that one to Michael Pittman. It went right over our DB's hands, our DB's hands, and like just perfectly into fucking Pittman to get a first down on 3rd down. And yeah, that one was a backbreaker for sure.
It was 3rd and long too. It was like 3rd and 12. We just finished sacking him.
Mm-hmm.
Max just sacked him. He went back. It was 3rd and short. Matt sacked him on 3rd down.
And that's important for a quarterback.
Down.
Timely
got sacked
and important plays, bro. That's where we lack a lot in recent years. Our quarterback might have good stats, like when Carr was here. Quarterbacks will have good stats sometimes in games, but they either, sometimes it's not their fault, totally their fault, because there'll be a holding call or something like that. But a lot of times they'll get 3 instead of 7. You know what I mean? It's just a lot of 3 and outs, and it's just a lot of garbage time fucking points too when you're already losing by 3 scores and you make it close at the end because you came back or whatever. So, but it's just, I don't know, man. It's different when you have a quarterback. He could throw for 100 yards, but if he's completing 7 out of 8 on third down, and you're keeping the team on the field, that's what's important.
You'll notice it. You'll notice that. You'll notice that big time, because the score will be high, and your red zone percentage. Like I said, it doesn't matter if we run the ball in, bro. That's efficiency, red zone efficiency. It's a category that's separated from the quarterback, because you could have a low red zone percentage, and you could just have, White run the ball. He could have 18 touchdowns, and then that means your red zone percentage is high, but it doesn't make AOC's or Minshew's red zone percentage high. But we know that our team red zone percentage is high. We really don't need our quarterback to be, 70%, 80% in the red zone. It'd be good
Atlanta
to
was
get
a top
that.
10 defense. Atlanta was a top 10 defense. Another top 10 defense that Minshew faced right there too. So Atlanta was a top 10 defense.
So he's a good quarterback, bro. I had people saying that Minshew's a good quarterback. You got to know that. He's just going against Aiden. I'm giving them all. We're depending on this guy because a lot of people are in love with the dude. Like Josh is saying, we fell in love with AOC already. 10 games into the season. Now, is that enough time to make this guy? And sometimes I missay like franchise quarterback, but a lot of people say he's the best quarterback since this guy or this guy. He's wearing number 12. Rich Gannon. Bullshit. He ain't nowhere close to Rich Gannon.
No.
He's better than Rich Gannon. Rich Gannon got hardware, bro. Rich Gannon MVP of the league. You know what I mean? If you could do shit like that, and if he comes out and starts dropping dimes, I don't care of getting first downs, keeping the clock running, keep the ball away from the other offense, then he's doing his job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you got to score, bro. You got to score. That's what I want to see. I'm tired of this 0-3 shit at home. Come on, man.
One of the biggest things that we keep on saying about Minshew also is that our red zone percentage is shit. And like Josh said, it was 10-1. You know what I mean? 10 touchdowns to 1. Not even including, him getting us to the red zone. Regardless, whatever, he has a higher percentage of red zone. And that has been our biggest.
I will say, AOC did do pretty well in the red zone too, as well. Mm-hmm. It's just Gardner Minshew is extremely efficient in the red zone.
And how many players did he have? He had Jonathan Taylor. He had no run game. He had no running back. He had what's his name was out with concussions for multiple games. Michael Pittman Jr.
Amen. Yeah.
I mean, so it's like it's like, bro. He and the team still won 9 games. You know what I mean? The Colts were not meant to win 9 games last year. Nobody had the Colts winning 9 games last year.
Yeah. After that, yeah.
So, and the thing is, like, with red zone positions, I tell people, you got to look at it from a TD standpoint. So, it sounds really bad. Like, I'm Team Minshew, obviously. Minshew and Gardner's stats are pretty identical. I mean, they really are. But at the same time,
Minshew and Gardner or Minshew and AOC?
Or Minshew and AOC. They're pretty identical, but it's just Minshew extends the plays. He gets sacked less. He extends the ball a little bit more. He's just a little bit more accurate, but did more with the less team. So you're hoping, okay, now this guy's getting coached up. Maybe he can do a little bit more with that. And the thing is, like, you look at wins and losses with a quarterback, and he was able to win at other places. He was able to throw up decent numbers. And if you compare AOC's rookie year versus Gardner Minshew's rookie year, it's not even close. It's not even close. Yeah. Minshew does leaps and bounds better. He threw for 20-plus touchdowns, had Jacksonville on the news, was winning with them, and then they drafted Lawrence. So it's
Jacksonville let go of him. Jacksonville let go of him, and he has better numbers than Trevor Lawrence.
And they just paid Trevor Lawrence $55 million a year. 55.
Yeah. And he's a backup and never started anywhere else and has better numbers than the guy that they replaced him. Yeah. That's
Who does that remind you of? Minshew.
Who?
Being a backup.
Gannon.
Who?
Rich Gannon, bro. They seeded in him collectively. I give this not exactly. I'm talking about.
No, I hope that he can become that, but
I'm talking about winning, Gabe. I'm talking about
We haven't
winning
seen that
games.
in a long time.
The deficit that you get. Hey, man, he wasn't like the quarterbacks that AOC was playing against. How many of those teams? He got all them wins. He got all them wins, but how many of them guys were backups? How many teams did we play with a backup besides the Kansas City game? Almost all of them.
Yeah.
He's better than all those backups, right? And I can almost guarantee you that Minshew was better than all them backups. Minshew was better.
I don't know, man.
Because he was already starting.
At the end of the day, I trust in our staff, bro. I trust in they're gonna pick the right dude at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you really look at it, like, because this is one of the biggest things why I want to go get Jaden. I want to go get Jaden and give up all that shit because the simple fact is I knew that we're gonna have a good staff moving forward, but we don't have that quarterback, bro. And going into next year, if we at least go mid, like say at least get the playoffs 10-7 roughly. They don't even have us winning fucking 10 games. What is it? We're like 6-7 games.
6.5.
6.5 games, yeah.
It's over under, yeah.
Way low, bro. We're not giving no love. So that just lets you further think that our quarterback play, which is the most dominant position as far as social media goes, you know what I mean? That our 6 wins, that's how confident that media people and professional people that know football, that's how confident they are in our quarterback situation.
So
most of the people who are betting in Vegas, most of the people who are betting in Vegas ain't really super heavy in football anyway.
I'm gonna throw some facts out to you. The only time we missed the over/under on the win total on the under is with Josh McDaniels, just once in the past 5 years. So every time Vegas has put us at something, we've hit the over. Besides 1 year. So they have us at 6.5. Like, our division's not good. Denver's down. Chargers are down. They're rebuilding. This is the year to get second place, and get in the wild card.
We're saying coaching too, Josh. And
that's what I'm saying. But that's what I was kind of going with the whole fucking thing. Is like the coaching is going to be so fucking different because if we would have got Jaden, you know what I mean, I would have took the fucking, I guess the hit for all the draft picks that we have to give up, but that's not the thing. So moving forward, we have to be realize that we got a 5th round quarterback in AOC that they moved up for. We also have a fucking 6th round fucking guy that's been fucking a nomad in a sense all over the NFL for this certain amount of time. You know what I mean? So it's like we really, really have to look at our fucking our training staff, our coaches, what they're going to implement, how they're going to implement it, and how they're going to get these players to be better at their own strengths. A lot of the fucking verbiage and everything like that. Even Gardner said that when he even said that, like, I'm used to this offense. This is the offense that I know. Same thing with AOC. AOC says he knows that, right? But the thing is, though, if we're going Minshew, I think, like even Gravy said, and I agree with Gravy that we're gonna have more of a chance of a playoff win for that. So what's gonna happen is even if we get to the playoffs, even though Las Vegas has us at fucking only 6 wins, which will get us higher draft pick moving on next year. You know what I mean? I really don't think we're gonna be in that position. I think we're gonna end up about like a 10 or 13 fucking same kind of scenario this year. So getting the quarterback in the top 10 is going to be horrible next year, even if we don't win. But what I'm trying to get at is that, like, we're going to be stuck unless we make a move. Yeah. And I think if we trade for somebody, bro, I think that's what we're going to have to do next year if we can't get these guys to fucking do what they need to do. Personally.
Yeah, and you see people are loyal to Raider players. If somebody's on the team for a few years, like it's the whole Hunter, like I use Hunter and Carr as examples. Hunter Renfrow, Pro Bowl guy, he was the only wide receiver when everybody was hurt, and he was the only person we can throw to for 1 year. Other than that, he's averaged 300 yards and he's injury prone. We fall in love with players that are not that good. To me, AOC falls in that category. Everybody, like, I see Ray has number 12 on there. Good for you. Like, you get it. You love AOC. Like, I don't even have AOC in a fucking 12 jersey yet. I haven't made that edit. So, but here's the thing. Like, again, you dive into the numbers. With accuracy, AOC could not throw the ball deep. He had a bad deep ball in college. He had that issue.
But he has a cannon. He has a cannon, Josh.
Great. He can throw the ball 30 yards, 40 yards down the field out of bounds. Good for him.
He's a dog. He's a dog, though.
He got a dog for an arm. He got a dog for an arm. Beast arm.
Aiden O'Connell with his limited starts last year had a poor or bad throw percentage of about 20%. 1 in 5 of Aiden O'Connell's balls is uncatchable, according to the NFL.
Wow.
Not me, the NFL.
Wow.
Now there are quarterbacks. So that's the thing. Like players like, people above him. Stroud does the same thing, but he's a rookie. But he's in, the same category as like Kenny Pickett and Trevor Lawrence and Bryce Young when it comes to that. There are quarterbacks that throw the ball a lot, that throw it away a lot. So that is normal sometimes. But he's up there, and he didn't throw the ball very much. He's about 20%.
Would you rather? Think about it. Would you rather have him throw the ball away, or fucking get sacked?
So that goes into the secondary and the tertiary part of it, and not to bore people with the numbers. Devontae Adams had about 300 to 400 yards of missed balls last year. Really think about that. There was only a couple of players. I got to find the website that had that again, and we really dove into it, and it was a really interesting article. But it went on to under and overthrows based off inaccurate balls and what are considered catchable and uncatchable, how many yards they missed out on. And Devontae Adams, depending on how aggressive you wanted to do the estimates, missed out on at least 200 yards last year. That's a lot. And upwards of 400, which is insane. So he was open and overthrown or underthrown on multiple occasions. And you saw that a lot last year. So it's hitting the receivers deep, hitting them in stride. He had a dip. We have a number one receiver. We have one of the best slot receivers in the league. There is no excuse for a quarterback not to win this. There's just no excuse. If they cannot win with this line and this wide receiver core and those tight ends, it is the quarterback's fault, period. And they don't belong as a starter in the NFL.
Yeah.
Well, Stem is a AOC guy. But, okay, 6 games with 0 interceptions. That doesn't mean shit to me, bro. It's red zone efficiency that means shit to me. You cannot throw any picks, but how many yards did you have? How many attempts did you throw the ball? We can't have Aiden O'Connell throwing the ball 40 freaking times in a game. He's not that type of quarterback, and we're gonna lose the game.
Yeah.
You look at those stats right there. He threw the ball less than 30. Which is adequate. But then you look at the rushing attempts, they're probably around 20. Then you got a balanced offense. That's what Bo was trying to do, trying to stay balanced. But we would have come from behind a lot against these backup quarterbacks versus the other team. And we were in a deficit besides the San Diego game. That's the game that he gets acknowledged, called 4 touchdowns, this and that. You were playing a team that wasn't inspired. The coach wasn't with them. They weren't listening to nobody. They lost the game. He had a great game. But no way in hell do I want Aiden O'Connell throwing the ball 56 times or 41 times. 25, 30 times. And then we should win the game.
The only reason why we're going to do stuff like that is if we're behind.
Aiden O'Connell had a lack of pocket presence. That was the thing. And people were trying to blame our line last year. Again, you look at the numbers.
A lot.
This is the thing. So they compare it to pocket time. You have 2.5 to 3 seconds to throw the ball. That's it.
Wasn't he averaging like 4 seconds or something like that?
And we had the lowest pressure percentage in the NFL with Aiden O'Connell starting. Think about that. We had a very good offensive line, even though with our issues with our right tackle, because Luminor gave up sacks last year. Beyond the Luminor, each one of our positions was a top 10, 15 pass blocking. That's what I keep telling you. Right guard, right tackle, center, that's what they were good at. They protected the pass. Most of our stuff was on the right side, and we did not give up very many pressures, which means he had a clean pocket literally like 80% of the time and still couldn't do stuff with it. To me, that's what's alarming, because it's poor pocket presence and taking unnecessary sacks. Again, same thing that Derek Carr did. The same thing you see quarterbacks that get rattled real easy or can't run the ball or can't throw it away. They get hit unnecessarily and they take sacks unnecessarily. So when
Bosa was right. You hit Carr once and that's it.
Yeah. But you look.
We already knew his clock was all fucked up in his head.
Yeah, and you really do look at that. You look at presser percentage and blitz versus how many times you're sacked. And AOC was blitzed a lot.
was not pressured hardly ever, and gave up 20 plus sacks. Like he had half the dropbacks of most quarterbacks in the NFL, and was sacked more than most of them.
Yeah.
It was like, mid-level, like 15th, 10 to 15th, but he wasn't pressured as much. And when I see those numbers like that, when a quarterback's pressured, 10, 15% of the time, which is top, that's elite. That's great. That's top 10. And then they're sacked in the bottom of the league. That goes more to quarterback play and pocket presence. And
he brought a lot of those sacks. He brought a lot of those sacks to himself.
Yeah, those sacks are not, they're coverage sacks, or they're not throwing the ball away. That's what they are a lot of times.
Yeah. I mean,
but our first reaction is like what Josh says: our offensive line sucks. The offensive line sucks. But our
go ahead. I'm sorry.
But our running back is getting 148 yards rushing, but our offensive line sucks. You know what I mean? But now we can't protect the quarterback.
Yeah.
How many sacks did we give up last year? I haven't even looked that up.
I don't even know. That's a good question.
I think we how many sacks have we give up or got?
Yeah. I'll pull it up. I'm curious.
Before we move forward, man, once again, we got like 60 to 70 people in here, man. It's Gravy's birthday. Wish him a happy birthday. Also, if you guys go to Josh's IG, he's giving away two tickets.
Yeah.
2 tickets.
The Charger game.
For the Charger game. Go over there.
I actually have, you got to subscribe. I'm trying to do it more so I can give away more shit. Like I said, all my subscription money goes back to everybody in the nation. I'm going to try to do tickets as much as I can. They are expensive this year. I'm taking a loss on this, so stay subscribed so I keep doing it. That's the only way I'm going to be able to. But on top of that, I have tickets in on the tunnel, so I can screenshot you my shit so you can come down and visit me.
Nice.
Yeah, so you can come down before the game starts and get autographs. I'm actually on the home tunnel where they come out, and I'm right on the rail because I like my autographs, so I'll be getting shit signed.
Okay, yeah, I think.
What game is that? What game is this, Josh?
The Charger game, the first game.
The seats that I'm looking at are right to the left of the tunnel on Raider side. So I every year I try to get a little bit lower. So the 2 seats that I'm looking at right now, I'm probably gonna go get them this week. I got to talk to the boys, see what we're doing and stuff like that. But for sure, I will be there. So you'll see me there too. So we'll get
I'll
together.
sneak in, bro. I'll get in there one way or another, Josh.
Oh yeah,
I know how to
figure it out.
Bro, I've snuck into SoFi so many times, and that sounds bad, but it's so fucking easy.
Nice, interesting. You gotta give me the little pointers.
Yeah, you just walk in. The security there is fucking trash.
Just walk in.
I swear to God, like fucking was it not last? Yeah, last year we had 4 tickets. Walked in with 9 people.
I go, can I get next to that guy with the tattoo on his foot?
Security's ass.
For an eighth.
Hey,
all right, go ahead.
Hey, this is how you stay wealthy. You don't pay for shit. All right. It doesn't matter how much money you have. If you can get it away with finessing it, you do it. Okay.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you.
Yeah. No. Also, Coach Gravy is going to be going live during the days coming up. He's going to be some downtime. So school's out and stuff like that. So Gravy's going to be doing live. So make sure you go over there, subscribe to Coach Gravy. He has Stogies with Gravy in the morning. I don't know when he's going to be doing it, but he's going to be doing it sporadically. Gabe, you already know what we do. Gabe has a smoke out hour. Also, Josh also has another podcast with We Raider. It's called We Raider, and it's over there with Kukui Online and John, and also Baker Raiderette. So are they going to be the Baker Kukuis, the Kukui Baker?
The Mrs. Kukui. Mrs. Kukui.
Like, are they bringing it together? What do they do?
I don't know. I just know that wedding's going to be fucking lit. That's all I know.
Yeah, shit. That's going to be man. Hopefully you guys have a good time.
That was pretty cool. And I because I asked John, I was like, I didn't want to say anything or post a video before he gave me permission because I'm the one that filmed it. And I was like, bro, I've never seen you so fucking nervous in my life. He was like trying to figure out how to get Baker outside, and he's like shaking and shit. I'm like, dude, are you good? He's like, I gotta get her outside. I'm like, all right, let me go.
We were right there. We were right there, right by that door. He must have did it when we left to go get that Fresca. He must have did it right there when we left.
We're going to go get Gabe. We're walking out because when we're walking out to go.
You went to get Gabe, and I was at the table.
Okay,
Remember
yeah.
I said,
So
go
when I
ahead, go
walked out
get
the
Gabe because I
gate,
didn't want to walk that far.
I seen everybody
me
over
too.
there to the left. So
Gabe's
yeah,
fault.
so it's all Gabe's fault.
Gabe's fault.
But anyways, yeah. So still doing a little bit of promotion. We only got about like a good another 20 minutes left. I got a new IG page, and there's gonna be a new YouTube channel that's gonna be something totally different. Nothing Raiders. It's gonna be part of more gaming and then talking shit, having fun, whatever or not. It's called What Up Low, because every time he calls me, when they hit me up, they're always saying What Up Low. So go to
What
IG.
up, Lo?
What Up Low? So that's
What
gonna
up,
be
Lo?
it. Yeah, so just make sure you guys go subscribe and hit me up over there too, man. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, but Raider Nation Live is still going to be kicking once the season starts and everything starts. We're gonna just be doing the shit damn near every day. You know what I mean? Put as much content as we possibly can. Have guests. Hopefully, we can get a couple more people. A couple more people fucking lined up to come on the show and stuff like that. Tomorrow, I will be live on Protect the Shield with Chris and them over there at 6 o'clock our time. So make sure you guys tune into that too. Yeah, we're gonna get into it, guys. Appreciate it. So, Josh, you were looking at the stat.
Which one? The stacks? Oh yeah, we gave up 40, so we were about 12th to 13th ranked last year.
Who gave up the most?
What?
Well, 40.
I
So
think it was fucking New York. They gave up like 80 sacks or some shit. Let me pull it up. Yeah, 85. Yeah, then the Panthers. But
And no wonder their quarterback.
so
People are
the
talking
best
shit about the quarterback, bro. People are talking shit about their quarterback.
The two best were the Bills because Allen can scramble. You know, he's at 24, but he gets pressured a lot and he just takes off. And then, you know, if you're looking at pocket passers like Love and Mahomes, they're at 28 and 30. So, but yeah, we're at 40 sacks. You know, we're about, you know, top 15, like with the 12th, 13th. But we gave away some of the least pressures in the NFL. We're like top 5 in pressures. And again, I've been preaching this since fucking 2016. That's the same exact shit you saw with Derek Carr. Low pressure percentage, high pocket time, which is good, and then high sacks. So it's more quarterback oriented with pocket presence. That's what worries me about AOC, and I've been saying that. I watched that guy play at Purdue. Like, I saw him live at Purdue. I said day one. It's on my Instagram. I did podcasts on it. I was like, he can't fucking move. I was like, he can't move and he can't throw a deep ball. I was like, I love Big 12 football. I've seen him live. Just watch. And people are like, he has a cannon. I'm like, no, he has a good arm. He's just not accurate with it, and he can't move. So.
And they got an ass kicking from Fresno State, too.
Yeah. I forgot that he lost to Fresno State. They lost last year. Yeah. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, he wasn't there.
Yeah, no. Yeah, Adams made him fucking. He put a Fresno State jersey in his locker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Walter, what's for dinner? Fuck, I had salmon and fucking quinoa, bro. Some vegetables.
Hey, that's healthy, man.
Fuck, yeah,
better dinner than me, bro. Salmon and shit. $50,
I eat salmon every day.
No shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to get. I need to turn that corner, bro. Anyways, that's a totally different story. Shit. Last point on AFC, you said we threw the ball mostly on third down, basically check down or threw it away. Okay, cool. I get that. But one of the things that I noticed I've noticed, and Derek Carr did the same shit, and that's why our offensive line is quote unquote like what we're talking about, kind of been in that fucking realm of most pressures or whatever. We're not. We had the most time because these guys would hold on to the fucking ball. And I even said it while AOC, I think he overthinks too much and not getting rid of the ball fast enough or not just going with the first fucking read. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
his
you got something like
slow. Like his release isn't slow. He holds on to the ball.
Yeah.
It's not slow.
And Derek Carr did the same exact shit.
He starts doing this. He starts patting the ball and then
or he fucking throws it in the end zone.
Unless you're an elite quarterback, you can do that.
That goes with the checkdowns. We're in the bottom of the league at yards per attempt and completion.
Yeah.
Bottom of the league. So
when you do shit like that, Josh, you're looking for the check down. So they cover it.
Are you guys going to go to New Orleans to watch Derek Carr break history? You know, that's what I'm doing.
I don't think he will be starting by then, to be honest.
I mean, so somebody sent me a video today and I got to post it. I'll tell you about it offline and it's fucking hilarious and I'll show it to you.
They're not gonna allow him to lose to the 32 team just because he's not gonna I don't think he's gonna be starting by then.
I mean, he needs a Hall of Fame bus. Yeah, Spencer Rattler.
For real, dog. At least, hey, you could be in the record books for something, Carr. Might as well.
I know. Everybody's all Rattler's the next Mahomes, and I'm like, why? Because he's half black, half white, and has a fro. Like that's where it stops,
bro. That's fuck. I hate. It's like just people just fucking need to read.
Let the dude be whatever you want. He's gonna be, man. Like all this comparison shit. Like, bro, that's not like I hate Mahomes. I fucking hate Mahomes. But are you gonna compare somebody like that to Mahomes? Though? Like Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league right now. I mean, I fucking hate to say it, but it's like, wow, man, too fucking quick to crown these motherfuckers.
You got a new one.
Oh, he got the Mahomes dummy.
I made a new one. Fun fact, because these are dog jerseys, you can't order a Michael Vick dog jersey, by the way. I tried. I was curious. I'm like,
that's messed up, bro.
I couldn't even customize it on Amazon. It rejected.
There's no way they would fuck it.
Hey,
I would say Michael Vick. I would say Michael Vick changed the game, but for what he did to dogs,
yeah,
I lost all respect for him. But Michael Vick was special. That we just didn't do that.
Yeah, he was one of my. Actually, going like when he was at Virginia Tech, that dude was one of my favorite players, dog.
Oh yeah.
All of that shit.
He almost beat Florida State by himself.
That was the funnest thing. Madden 04 with Michael Vick. Holy shit! Good times.
Fuck.
But then what he did to the dogs, like especially once they started saying the stories about not the fighting part, like because I've seen that shit, like you know what I mean, and it's fucked up. Don't get me wrong, it's fucked up, no. But the shit that they said, what they would do when the dogs would if the dogs would lose, that was the fucking worst about it. Yeah.
Or put them in bags. I seen that guy in Dallas
and body slam them. Like they would put them like in bags, like these fucking like the stack bags, like those potato sack bags or whatever. Yeah. And they were fucking beat like body slam them on the floor.
Fuck that, bro.
Don't tell me.
I'm here.
I thought you were in Dallas, bro. You're in Dallas watching the team get swept in a little bit.
Smells like Miss Piggy.
I'm here. I'm here.
I'm here. He said tougher, you know what I mean? He sounded like I'm sure his lady got more bass in her throat than that.
I told you guys I make one of these every year, right?
You said you were gonna make one because I asked you.
I was giving away some tasty fans for like some food.
Now he's on a hair commercial now. No, doesn't he have like a fucking stupid ass hair commercial with Troy Polamalu?
He has stupid ass hair, and Polamalu's hair is fucking glorious. So I don't know what he's doing with that.
Yeah, he has the fucking commercial.
Yeah, we got hair like that, bro. Shoot.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you see the little grays.
Get a blinged out fucking chain of the fucking Mahomes so you can just carry it everywhere. That'd be funny as fuck.
I can't wait till that fucking.
I feel like he should embrace it at this point. Like, just say fuck it and embrace it. Like, if he came out
commercials.
If he came out did a commercial with them, I'd be like, all right, that's funny. Yeah. Or like same thing. Had like a chain with Kermit the Frog on it. People would laugh. Like, all right, that's funny, dude. Like, you know.
Yeah.
That's
you got when shit like that starts happening, you gotta embrace it because if not, it's like people will find they'll figure that bothers him. Let's keep saying it. You know what I mean? Like that's what's gonna happen now in this day and age. You know what I mean? Like if you fucking show any little inclination of that bothers me, people are going to pick that.
Wait, do you remember the Super Bowl question? They asked them. They're like, "Hey, do your Kermit the Frog impression." He's like, "I'm doing it right now."
Yeah, he kept on himself. You can tell he doesn't like it, but he's trying to just buck it. You know what I mean? Say fuck it.
The one that I love the most is when they have Kenny Powers, and then they have the fucking statement that says like this. Fucking what's the name? Sounds like Kenny Powers from fucking Eastbound and Down.
Yeah.
I was with DJ Khaled, and we were sitting.
He's like, we had a fucking chocolate fountain.
Chocolate fountain.
Fucking Kenny Powers a fucking fool, dog.
Oh my god, shit. So Devontae will probably bounce if we run Smash Foul. I don't think so, bro.
I think we're gonna get rid of him next year. He's gonna go to a quarterback that's gonna be more established, and we're going to use the cap space for something else.
Okay, so check this out. All right, and I've had this kind of, we can spend the last couple minutes talking about it, and I brought it up before on here. What if we use this money to go get us a quarterback?
I mean, you could.
Josh Allen.
He's 32 years old. He's going to be 33 next year, and he has a cap hit of I think 28 million next year.
When is the 40 hit? When is the 40 hit? The year after.
Total of 40 next year. 44 million next year. But the cap hit,
and it's not guaranteed next year, so he could.
The more and more we don't waste any of this money, like I know it's early, it's still barely, like we're still in mid-June. There's still a lot of cuts to where like guys are going to be leaving situations where they don't feel comfortable at because of new coaching, situations and shit like that. So you're going to see cuts, later on in the camp, which you hear Telesco saying that he's keeping an eye on certain free agents and shit like that. But just the longer it takes to like sign somebody, the more I'd just be like, because I hate to buy into fucking rumors, but I just fucking hate the simple fact that like that Dak Prescott is like tied to us.
No, he's not. It's gross. That's probably That's Black Bear.
This is the reason I think Adams is gone next year too, because he's a $40 million cap hit for a 33-year-old wide receiver with a quarterback that's not established. If we trade him after the draft, it's only a $7 million cap hit. That's it. That's nothing. That is nothing.
What if he restructures and we go get us a top tier quarterback?
So if we restructure, he's going to have to put everything on the back end until he's like 35, 36. If they want the win now mentality, they can do. That's what the New Orleans Saints tried to do, and it didn't work out. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It worked out with Breeze, it didn't work out with Derek Carr.
And that's why the Saints are $70 million over the cap.
Oh, their car's getting $100 million the next 2 years. 100. Yeah.
Is that the type guy? Is that the type guy that you wish you would get?
No.
That's if you don't get cut at the end of this year.
Me personally, I would take a trade for like a Josh Allen. I would go all in to keep fucking DA, get Josh Allen type. That's the guy I would like to see.
You can take Devontae Adams' contract and back end it and say, hey, we're going to be fucked when you're 35, but now we want to win. Let us give you like 10 or 15 now, and we'll give you 40 or 50 to back end each year. So he's still going to get all of his money, but we're going to clear up. Hey, we're going to clear up another 30. Like we don't want to trade you. We want you to stay here, but we'll clear up $20 to $30 million to bring in players so we can win with you. So they can do that. But the thing is, you got to be prepared. In 3 years, you're going to be ass. You got to be prepared. You're like, hey, we're going to try to win now.
For real.
But the thing is,
for real. That's how winning.
Are you going to win now?
Organizations do it.
Are you going to win now with Patrick Mahomes? That's the problem.
That's how winning organizations do it. They get rid of dudes before they start going down. You know what I mean?
So like
you can see, and I'm not going to say Devontae. I'm not going to say Devontae is going down or anything like that. I mean, obviously he's getting older. You know what I mean? So he might be slower or something like that. I'm not saying that he's fucking trash. I'm not saying that he's going on his way down and shit like that. I'm just saying like smart organizations get rid of those guys before that happens.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds really bad. We can even cut him next year for $7 million.
Yeah. So my question is, the DA thing. I get that. Who would we trade for a quarterback? Who in the league right now could we figure out the numbers, keep DA for maybe another year, whatever or not? Who do you guys think, besides going to a fucking rookie quarterback, drafting next year? Because we're going to be fucking between 10 and 15, if we make the playoffs. You know what I mean? Probably
we're not going to get a quarterback off of free agency.
Start the right guy now. Start Minshew now. Because if you get Josh Allen, the dude is getting paid. What do you think the cap hit for Josh Allen is going to be? More, if just the same or as more as Devontae. And now we're asked out on a receiver. We're not gonna pay a receiver like we did Devontae. We have to draft a receiver. We have to draft a number one. Now we're in this win now, like Josh is saying, which I think that we're in. AP has to win or he's gonna lose his job. Telesco's making good decisions. AP is the way his football team comes out. Now, it's already said that AP, he deserves this. He should do this. And I've always said he shouldn't have said that. Well, now it's an open competition. We know quarterback play. I know quarterback play who's going to win that competition.
Yeah.
As much as people love AOC, I know who's going to win. Who's the better quarterback?
But look at our cap situation. We have what, 30 million right now, right?
Yeah.
And then we had some from Jimmy G that we had left over. Let's be realistic. If we didn't sign Minshew, there's 12 million, and we have another 30, and there's some other stuff we can restructure. If we really were forced to, we could have spent 35 to 40 million dollars on a quarterback this year. We could have.
But there would be in that range, though.
There's nobody available. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Nobody is going to get rid of the quarterback. The best we could have got would have been like Kirk Cousins. You know, Dak might move on, but that's just a stopgap. He's not going to win. You know, and I told people that left and right. Dak Prescott had such a good roster with the Cowboys and could not win. He is not winning with us. He's not winning against Mahomes. It's just not going to happen. He was the best quarterback in the NFL. Sorry, my kids are. Hey, quiet. Dak Prescott was probably the best quarterback in his division with the best roster and couldn't do anything with it. He's not going to do anything against Mahomes. He's not going to do anything against Allen. He's not going to win in championship games. This is not going to happen. It's not realistic for us. It'll create hype.
I think it could be. I think what Josh is saying though too could be coming to vision like the DA thing could happen if Bowers becomes the dude, because to be honest, I think he's one of those. Yeah, he's going to be a tight end. He's going to be marked in as a tight end, but it's almost similar to like if he becomes that number one option, you can afford to get rid of a guy like that and go get your quarterback. You know what I mean? You can afford because if he becomes the number one option,
you want to be in a position like Casey is this year, like where they don't have a number one, and they struggled last year. They struggled with the.
Well, I think the difference though with us would be kind of like we still got Jacoby Myers. We still got you know what I mean? We still have two tight ends, not just, you know, I think what's his name? I think Mayer's going to be good too this year because I think it's just going to be less accounted for, you know what I mean, by defenses, you know what I mean, just because of the Bauer situation. And I don't know, man, I think that DA, as great as he is, dog, as great as he's been in his career, though, like that's why I keep saying, dog, like you have to. We have to see what he's going to do this year. You know what I mean? Because if his numbers, like say he does have another 1,000 yards, but he has this time 1,100 yards. You know, last year he had 1,200 yards. So if he has 1,100 yards this year, I just don't see him getting any better after this year. If you can't do any better with the quarterback that's obviously already had a year under his belt and what we consider a better offensive line and stuff like that, then you got to reevaluate. I think that's what we're talking about. Like, that's why you have to get at the end of this year. If his numbers ain't looking nearly what they were 2 years ago instead of what they were last year, if they were less than last year, then you know what I mean? Because he did drop. I think he had the most drops in his career. You know what I mean? I think that also had to do with not, you know, being in the flow of the game as much.
Look who was throwing to him though. Yeah,
that's why I'm saying. Like I think that had a lot to do with because of the flow of the game. But a lot of those balls hit him right in his hands. You know what I mean? And you don't see that from
That's one of the things I always talk about drops, because us what happens is every game, every play is analyzed by the NFL, and they go through and they deem if a ball's uncatchable or not. Just because it touches somebody's hands doesn't mean they call it catchable. Because they might be extending, they might be jumping, they might be too low, it might be on the shoelaces. It's just like a baseball when it goes between somebody's legs or it's too far out, it hits their glove. It's not always an error because it's considered a play that, like, hey, you might make it, but you might not, and more often than not, you won't. So it's not an error. Same thing goes with balls. If it's an uncatchable ball, if it's out of their wingspan and it hits their fingertips a lot, that whole adage, if it hits your hands, you got to catch it. It's like, no, that's not always the case.
Yeah.
Especially if it's thrown behind you. So, you know, he did have a lot of drops. You know, this thing, most years people blame the drops with Carr. They blamed the offensive line with Carr. They're doing it again this year. They did it again last year. I'm like, dude, we're middle of the road when it comes to drops and sacks. We're not the worst. We're not the best. We're right in the middle. That's fine. Don't blame that. Yeah, it's a problem, but guess what? We're average. Leave it alone. There's other
people don't look at that like we do, Josh. You know what I mean? They don't look at that. They're in the now. He dropped the ball. Devontae did it.
Yeah.
But
get him out of here.
Shit it looked like it looked like a duck coming out of his hands. First of all, it was thrown late. It was at his feet. You know, well, he should be able to bend over.
Well, I even think the ones that actually hit him in his hands that were catchable, like even
there were balls like that too. There were balls like that too.
No, what I mean, like what I'm trying to say is that like even those were like you weren't getting a ball thrown for you for 3 damn quarters. You know what I mean? You were running route after route after route after route. You know, and finally get a ball thrown your way. And yeah, like I understand you got to catch the ball. I understand that shit, but like, you know what I mean? When you don't have a completion in 3 quarters and like, you know what I mean? And or like, you know, there was multiple times where DA didn't have a catch in the first half or had 1 catch through a whole half or something like that. Or, you know, multiple times where, you know what I mean? He just wasn't getting, you know, seen that way. So you're not in the flow of the game. That's what I'm kind of trying to talk about. Like you're not in that, like, and that's what he was used to with Aaron Rodgers. When you needed a tough 3rd down, when you needed you know what I mean? When you needed to get in the flow of a game because you had just a bad drop. You know what I mean? Aaron Rodgers was smart enough as a quarterback to know I'm gonna make him forget about that. I'm gonna come right back to him. You know what I mean? Like, and with AOC last year, you've seen, you know, at times where even if he wasn't dropping the ball, even if he did have a catch in the first half, he wasn't getting another one to the 3rd quarter. You know what I mean? He wasn't even getting another target to like the 3rd quarter, which that fucks up the flow of the game and stuff like that, which I understand that, but I keep going back to the fact that like he is 33. I think you'll be 34. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's gonna be some for sure evaluating because next year we do have a lot of guys to sign. You know what I mean? And he has.
I think Devontae is different, bro. I think Devontae is different like that, dude. He's different like that. He's still his route running is impeccable, and if he could get there and he's open, I don't blame him for getting pissed off throwing his helmet around. There were games when we said O'Connell was throwing it too much to him, and Devontae was still pissed off. You know, he had like 9 in a row straight to Devontae. Devontae drops 1 ball, and we're pissed.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But Devontae should get the ball a bunch of times. He's the best player in our team, and he knows how to get open. And so does Jacoby.
Yeah, it's just going to be a whole new season.
Get the ball to your best players, bro. To get your ball to your best players. That's how football is supposed to be. You know, ain't no normal Joe Blow going to be, you know, take a game over. It happens. But if you got a guy like that, you got to, I don't care if he's 34. I think he's different like that. I think he can play till he's 34. Just with route running alone. Nobody that you say who's the best route runner in football, his name comes up top 3.
Wait, did you just say he could play to 34? That means he only can play for 1 more year?
He's 32 now. Well, he has 2 more years on his deal. At least.
Wait a minute. Didn't Rice and all these guys?
You'll be 33 by year
start. You're in their damn late 30s, though. Catching touchdown. But they had a better quarterback.
Jerry Rice is an anomaly.
Yeah, Jerry Rice is.
DA is too. DA is a different kind of breed guy.
You know, players playing into 38, 39 is not a thing anymore. But like it's very hard.
You gotta take into consideration too. Like, dudes ain't willing to go that long into their career just for the mere fact that they have so much other shit that they can do. Like not like before. You know what I mean? They got their fucking businesses on the side. They got all kinds of shit that they're like, you know.
Yeah, it all depends on the situation. I mean, look, like I was saying, Larry Fitzgerald was still balling late in his career. See, that's the thing. Larry Fitzgerald didn't go nowhere. You know, DA, I always wanted to be a Raider, so he's going to be here. If he can fucking if he can.
Larry Fitzgerald went to the Super Bowl, bro. He went to the Super Bowl.
But they did he win?
No, they lost. It was a better team. They were playing a Pittsburgh defense, and then their quarterback was throwing picks. The linebackers running 100 yards down the goddamn field, and who caught the dude? Who caught the guy? He
was a little bit younger. He was about 33.
He wasn't that young. He was 30. He wasn't that young.
Yeah, Devontae's 31. So
yeah, he'll be 32 this year. He'll be 32 at the end of the season.
I think he can play till he's 34, dude.
But what it really boils down to, who's getting him the ball? That's what it comes down to. Nobody.
Who's that guy?
You cannot win a Super Bowl without a fucking quarterback. It doesn't fucking matter. And the guys that we got right now it's this conversation that we're having throughout the whole nation. Are these guys going to be able to do it? 90% of the fucking nation saying no. There's that 10% that's saying that, yeah, Minshew could possibly do it. Maybe like 2% of that 10, and then the other 8% saying that AOC.
Can Minshew be our Nick Foles?
But who knows? You
If
know,
you get a bowl out of it, I don't give a shit who it is.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And if it's Anthony Brown, bro,
You know
let's
what I mean?
run it. Let's go. I just want to get that Super Bowl shit.
You know,
Just so I can
Stafford,
rub it in
Stafford
some
threw.
Charger fan's face. That'd be great.
Evan?
You know, Stafford. You know, he in Detroit. Poor him in Detroit. They didn't have no team around him. They blamed Stafford. He went to LA, better team, better defense, dominant nose tackle. That's all he needed.
Yeah.
That's all he needed was a good defense. And then what did he do? That same year, Super Bowl. And then they got better receivers now, dude. They got two of the best receivers in the NFL now. And without him getting hurt, they better push to go to the playoffs. To be or at least be in the playoffs.
Who's there and how well they play.
Yeah.
If you're meeting Mahomes at his prime, playing his best, you're probably going to lose. That's just a fact. If he has an off game, if you notice it, when defenses fuck him up or you throw some picks, then he loses, and that's when he loses in the playoffs. But you gotta think, what is he, 28, 29 right now, Mahomes?
Yeah.
And he has 3 rings. I mean, he's going to win a couple more probably before his career's over.
Been a
So
4 already.
He has 4 rings? No, he has 3.
No, yeah, he's been a 4.
Okay. Been a 4, yeah.
Been before, yeah.
But,
Yeah,
But when
you
you said, Josh, when you said that, you know, Kansas City really didn't do anything, they beat an elite #1 defense in the NFL last year.
Like, I know I'm biased, but that
you're
game,
saying that. Yeah, you're saying that, but it wasn't. At the end of the day, it was because of the quarterback play and the running game, basic football. And I told Lowe this. They just grind it out. Time of possession. Kept Purdy off there, kept Ayuk out, kept McCaffrey out of it. They just played basic football and did it correctly because of their coaching. They're the best coach in the NFL right now. And that it's going to be tough. You just got to imagine the coaching in our division is top notch amongst everybody, even with the cat at Denver and even with Harbaugh. It's going to be 4 different teams running 4 different shits. That's going to be amazing to watch when we play against those guys because those guys are still good coaches. You know, Harbaugh's a damn good football coach. He might be a little old-fashioned, but, hey, that old-fashioned wins you Super Bowls. That old-fashioned wins you Super Bowls just like Pacheco and all them guys did for Kansas City to beat that top-notch #1 defense and all the accolades of McCaffrey and all these other names. They beat them. And it was a big upset. To me, I thought San Francisco was going to wipe them clean.
I had money on that set. I was pissed off. It was bullshit.
Man, Drew Brees made Sean Payton.
Fucking, am I looking?
But
Drew Brees made Sean Payton.
What are we
But
looking
the
at?
best quarterback, that's the epitome of it. The best quarterback wins the Super Bowl. Unless you got a top-notch elite defense. Look at San Francisco. They didn't have the best quarterback. Everybody says he has all the numbers, but when it came to serious time, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
I mean,
loaded everywhere.
We look at the past because you're seeing more of a trend. You know, we see Tom Brady win, and we're seeing Mahomes win over the past 10, 12 years. That's pretty much been the MO. And sprinkled in, you'll have teams, you know, you had like Baltimore win with Flacco. He wasn't the best quarterback. You had
the best defense.
Yeah,
the best defense
you had Denver win with Manning at the end of his career. He was like the 15th, 20th ranked passer by that point. He wasn't top. He couldn't throw a fucking ball. You had Philly win with Foles, you know, and then you had LA win with Stafford. So it's like in the past 10 years, it's 50-50. You know, maybe 40-60 the best quarterback wins, but you see these teams with elite defenses that these quarterbacks are getting wore out. By the time they get to Super Bowl, they're not playing well because they've been beat up for the past 3 weeks in the playoffs. So that's the only way you're going to beat Mahomes is have a defense. You're not going to outgun him. It's not going to happen. He's playing in the league.
Yes. And you run the football to keep him on the sideline. That might sound, you know, pussyish, but as long as he's on the sideline, you're moving the football. You're moving the football. You're keeping them away. That's the epitome of game plan.
That's how we won. That's how we won the Chiefs game on Christmas.
And then also, but see, you got to understand, we're going to have to, with these quarterbacks that we got, you know what I mean? hopefully Gardner or whoever starts is gonna have to. We're gonna have to play that basic ball, play the time clock, play that so we can get these wins, so we can make it into the fucking playoffs and into the Super Bowl because our defense is so fucking good. So, you know what I mean? I just really see that, man. So it's like if we do that going into this year, I think we have a very good chance to where we don't need that top elite quarterback. We're just gonna need to stop the top elite quarterback.
I think whoever is our quarterback is going to improve a lot. Even Minshew, as good as like we talked about Minshew. I know we talk about Minshew pretty good on this show. I like AOC, you know what I mean, because I think he's gonna push Minshew. At the end of the day, I'm still sticking with that. I'm still sticking with Minshew's going to be the starter at the end of the day. But I just believe in the coaching staff. They're going to pick the right guy.
Yeah,
they're not going to pick a guy just for favoritism because, like Gravy said earlier too, I don't necessarily think that like AP's on the chopping block this year, because I think for sure I don't think he's on the chopping block. Like I think he's going to have, regardless of what the record is this year or whatever like that, I think he's going to have, you know what I mean, I think at least 2 years, dog, to you know, get this shit going, just because of what he has with the fans, what he has with I think he's just embedded right now with the Raiders. You know what I mean? So I just think that I don't think he's necessarily on the chopping block this year, but it's important, dog. It's important to get on the right start, dog, because he doesn't want to be on the chopping block next year. You know what I mean? He doesn't want to go into the off season, you know, with all eyes on him on the hot seat type shit. You know what I mean? And it's just not a way to go into the off season, which I think they're going to make it. They're going to make it work this year, and I think the coaching staff behind them is going to be a big part of why we're going to be successful.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Well, shit, man, we're at a 2-hour mark. Before we get out of here, guys, Josh, just let them know one more time. Let them know what you're doing.
Follow me on Instagram. My shit's in the bio. Hit subscribe. I like giving away free shit. So, like I said, you know, life is good.
You're giving away 2 tickets for the Charger game too, right?
Yeah, I'm giving away 2 tickets for the Charger game for the 2024 kickoff. They're actually good seats. They were expensive. I'm giving them away. All you do is subscribe. I tell people to keep subscribing. It's $5, and what happens is I give away all the prize money and autographs, tickets. I'm trying to get more subs so I can get more tickets. Give more tickets away. My goal is to give some of my tickets away where I sit, and those are expensive. So they're fun though. And you get access to cool shit. So, you know, you get to see all the cheerleaders and touch all the players and get shit signed all the time. So
dope. So shit, go over there, go subscribe to Josh, man. You already know what's up with us. Raider Nation Live on IG and Twitter. You got Coach Gravy, Raidergate 420, and What Up Low. Yeah, well, it was Dirty Low, but anyways, Low. I changed it up. So I'm on IG now. I'm barely starting the new channel, new IG, and I'm starting another YouTube channel. So make sure you guys get ready for that. We will be live. I will be live tomorrow with Protect the Shield. So make sure you guys go over there. Go shout out Protect the Shield. We'll be over there. And then Sunday we will be live. And next week we will be live Tuesday, Thursday, and also Sunday. We're back on. We just took a little bit of break. That Raider Nation Explosion was kind of a lot of work. So shout out to everybody that was involved in that. Shout out to Raider Mob Boss and everybody over there, man. Appreciate you guys. And
happy birthday once again to the boy Gravy.
Happy birthday once again to Gravy. Happy birthday.
Thank you, brother.
80 years on this planet, bro.
They said it's getting late. It's past my bedtime, bro.
Past
that was 2 hours ago. I'm just kidding.
It's 2 hours ago. You already had dinner at like fucking 4:30.
Yeah. Gravy once walked 6 miles through the snow to get to work barefoot. You know,
barefoot, uphill. All right, man. You guys have a good night, man.
With a pulled hammy, with a pulled hamstring too.
Fucking beard kept
with turf toe. I had turf toe on both my toes. Walked to school.
Check it out.
6 miles.
You guys be thankful for what you do got, what you don't, and don't drink and drive. And like how we always leave this bitch on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Raider! Get out, boy.
Let's go.
See you guys tomorrow. And